So I thought it would be good to talk about it. It was a person that was on a previous live I was listening to, and they said that they asked if like they said that monogamy or like being with someone like the idea of like I guess they belong to you, you belong to them, y'all are only dealing with each other, and if they were to deal with somebody else you would be upset, that's unhealthy. That's an unhealthy way of thinking. And so I wanted to know like what you ladies think about like monogamy or being with one person and you don't sleep with anyone else and they don't sleep with anyone else. Like, do you guys think that's healthy or not? The number one, so let me just say this is a multi-topic, and if there's something not listed today that you want to talk about, this is really just that anything goes. Whatever you want to talk about is cool. We can talk about anything that you want today. But I just put up three random topics if you guys want to talk about it. Number one, I saw that picture of, I think her name is Cynthia Erivo. I already highly dislike her anyway, but but I saw the picture of her protecting Ariana Grande, and I am just the way the picture looks of black women being these protectors and mules and mammies for everyone else but each other, because these innocent white women need to be protected. I just it just disgusted me. If I'm gonna keep it real with you, it disgusted me. And actually, maybe I should put the picture up here so you guys could see the picture that could give you a better reaction of what I'm showing you guys. Let's see here. Maybe I can show you the picture because the picture is really gross, honestly. Let's see here. Okay, so do you see it? Um Honestly, this picture is wild to me. It's wild and disgusting. Hey, how you doing, super villain? The black man being the third gender, that was something that I was on Zora's live and she mentioned as a particular topic to talk about, and her explanation of it was interesting. So hopefully I can, I sent her an invite. I could get her in here. Maybe she could speak on it more. Super villain. Let me see if I can get this picture and put it on a black background so that I can see you guys' words easier. Just give me 1 second. Okay, let's see if I can get this for y'all. Hold on. Okay, let's see here. Just 1 second. Guys, hopefully y'all got it right now. I just wanted to get a better picture. Let's see here. There we go. I think that's a better picture on the way that you guys can see this. Like I said, I find it to be disgusting. Like, honestly and truly. Like, and all of this does is just push forth the narrative that black women are and are the mammies and the protectors of everyone else, while receiving none of that protection, none of that love, you know what I'm saying, reciprocated. And that to me, honestly, that's just something that I find to be crazy. I really don't even know what else to say. The strong black woman trope that, black women, we're the ones that are supposed to be protecting and defending everybody, and no one is never there for us. I just it's disgusting. I don't even, I'm tired. Yeah. Sorry, you guys. Like I said, I just find it to be disgusting, like truthfully. And it's something that I'm really, to be honest with you, tired of. For real. Like, I can't even tell you how much I'm tired of it. Like, for real. Um, and then you're a black woman and you're doing this with this white woman. Like, it's just crazy. It's just nuts. Like, honestly, like, I just it's just blowing me. Plus, like I
It's
said,
just
I
blowing
don't
me.
like
Plus,
Cynthia.
plus, like I said,
I don't like Cynthia Erivo anyway. I think that she's a disrespectful tether. So I already don't like her. So this is just something else to add to the layer of not liking her. Okay, hey supervillain, you have something to say, sis?
Yes. I was gonna say I saw the video, and if you think the picture is bad, the video is just so much worse. The optics are terrible. It's just the fact that Cynthia herself is probably not 100 pounds soaking wet. I don't know what she thought she was going to do with the bodyguards around. I mean, she moved faster than those huge men, and it's like the men were hesitant, but she was like on go. And I get it. Like, I guess, Ariana is her close friend, but the just optics were terrible. It's how fast she moved. Like, she looked like Takaria Richardson out there, the way that she went to Ariana Grande's defense. It's like, I don't know. The picture looks bad, y'all, but y'all got to see the video. I was just like, and then it's bad when the first thing you think about is, oh no, black woman, instead of Ariana Grande's safety. It was just terrible, Trey. I don't know if you saw the video, but it was absolutely the optics are terrible. I do want to separate though, and as a black American and Nigerian person, I want to separate because when it's time to separate, I'm not going to lie, my Nigerian side knows how to separate from being black. Please let them know this. I mean, I guess it's still, what? I'm not going to do that because we're all the same to them anyway. But it's just the optics were
No,
terrible.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do, and I think I will make it very clear that Cynthia Erivo is not a Black American woman. She also said many things that are disparaging about Black Americans. So uh that's a big reason why I don't like her, about like Black Americans not having any culture and playing Harriet Tubman, which I never watched and I never will watch. If somebody was going to poke out my eyeballs with a hot poker, or I had to watch Harriet with her starring her, I would just have them poke out my eyeballs. But yeah, I just, like I said, I this right here has got to stop. But this isn't everything that you guys we can talk about today. I just wanted to put the picture up so you guys can see context. But I also was on a live and there was a Black woman and she was saying that, like, if you are in a relationship with somebody and it's like monogamous, like, they're not messing with anybody, you're not messing with anybody, and if they were to mess with someone, you would be upset that that's unhealthy. So I also wanted to know like what you guys think about that. Do you think that monogamy is healthy? But we can talk about Cynthia first, or whatever you guys want to talk about. This is kind of like an open topic today, like whatever topics you guys want to talk about. But before I do that, let me get to the ladies though. Go ahead, Miss Scott.
hey, Trigger. Hey, supervillain. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Cynthia, yeah, just like supervillain said, it was bad. I seen it this morning. I was like, my goodness, she looked like a Marvel comic action
Yes.
action hero. The way she came, yeah, she's not. No, she's not exaggerating at all. She's not. I mean, and you should have seen him. I mean, the person that came up to Ariana Grande was like a Asian kid. You could tell he was like a kid or something like that. She like yelled at him and get off of her and all that. I was like, oh my goodness. But yeah, it was a trip. Yeah, so Supervillain ain't lying about that. Another thing, is monogamy healthy? I am 53 years old, and yes, monogamy is very healthy for me. That is, I'm not going. Whenever I hear stuff like this, I always think about it's a man wanting to sleep around a whole bunch of women and don't want to, just want to sleep with a bunch of women and not have nobody question them on it. That's exactly what I hear when I hear the polygamy thingy. And no, because you'll never accept me wanting two men, but you want to sleep around. No, I don't want to do all that. So I'm going to be monogamous. I'm not doing none of that. And the first one, being too strong. Oh, that one. Now that's a trigger for me. That's a trigger for me. There's a bunch of men in my family and they rely on the women to take care of everything. And I remember one of my cousins, my boy cousins who I grew up with, one of my boy cousins said, well, Penny, you gonna be okay because you're strong. You're strong. You gonna be okay. And I'm like, that doesn't mean, because it was like a death. Something that happened in my family. It was like a death or something like that. And I wasn't allowed to show any emotion or be vulnerable because I was perceived as being strong and I couldn't be, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't like the strong word at all, because only because every other race can be soft or whatever have you, and we can never be soft. We always have to be hard. We always have to be strong. So I tell people in a minute, that is not the flex that you're trying to give it. To me, that is. Yeah, I don't like it because I don't want to be strong all the time. There's nobody that's going to be there for me. So that's what I think on that. And if we could, or, if nobody wants to talk about it, we could talk about the Different World reboot and how they were talking about it. How they're replacing, I guess, the majority. Well, no, people are not trying to watch it. They're trying to boycott it if it's not, what, they tried to say 80% African American or something like that, because they're trying to get all these other actors from other countries, like they are like of Kenyan and other groups of people. They're not FBAs actors and actresses that they got. I think the only one, it was two of them. One of them is Tashina Arnold's daughter, and I don't know who she's playing, but then there was Aaron Hall's son, and those are like the only two, and everybody else is like somewhere on the continent of Africa, somewhere like Kenyan stuff. So,
I don't. Because I don't see a problem with that. To be honest with you, I think everybody else gatekeeps their culture across the diaspora except Black American people. We're the only ones that are expected to let everybody in. And if it's a show that's about HBCUs, a historical Black college, then yes, Black American people should be there, in my opinion, and those should be the people that are the star of the show. When you see these what is it, the like the Nollywood, is that what they call it, like the Nigerian shows and all of those, like, it's one show I've watched on Netflix. It's called Fatal Seduction. I actually really like it. It was 2 seasons. It was I think they were South African. I think it was set in South Africa. Where were the Black American people at in there? Nowhere. There were none. And I have no idea why when Black American people, it echoes like when you unmute for some reason, Miss Scott. But I just want to say, like, where were they though? Like, and that's my thing, is that I really do feel like we have got to have some spaces for ourselves or whatever when it comes to that. So yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. But I'm gonna keep going because the other two ladies that were up here hasn't had a chance to speak yet. So then we can talk about these other topics, y'all. Let me go up here to Serwa. And then Jim. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead, sir. Let me know if I said your name wrong.
Yes, so I'm a black British woman, and I do understand what you guys are talking about. And the more I read into this, the more I get what you're talking about like the masculinization of black women. Like the picture itself, just like it bugs me a little. But on Twitter, I know I get my information from Twitter. It's a bit ugh, but the Asian kid that ran into Ariana, he's very well known. Like he's been to Katy Perry concerts. Like all he has been doing is literally running up to like celebrities, like doing weird shit, like hugging them, invading their personal space. So I would say Cynthia's stance was really needed and acceptable, even though it may look like she's doing too much. Like there was no reason for that guy to just to run bolting there. And Ariana was like, she was so shocked. She was probably so shocked. But I think that Cynthia should have done like more, because it was so disgusting, like it was so weird. But I do get like what you guys are coming from, like how Ariana Grande is like this, like um scared or like dainty, like very like I don't know, defenseless, and like Cynthia's like this protector, the strong black woman. And like I'm black British, but I'm not like African American. But so I'm a bit nervous. But I feel like we all do have that like same, like we all have something in common, which is like people telling us that we're strong, we should be strong, we're not allowed to cry or anything. And like it sucks. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
All
But
right, all right. I got you. I got you. All
yeah,
right.
but like
Oh no, you weren't
sorry.
done. Sorry. Go ahead.
Like I do understand why like people saying Cynthia's doing way too much, but in my opinion, like I think um she did what she had to do. Like the security as well is like, what are they doing? Like just standing there while this guy is literally like holding onto Ariana Grande. Like what happens if like Cynthia did step in? Like Cynthia was like right. Like she should have even punched him. I would have supported her. But like I'm glad that she protected Ariana Grande, because I don't know what the security was doing. Yeah, that's all I
Okay.
have to say.
All right, I got you. I got you. All right, let me go up here to Jim. Go ahead, Jim.
Hi.
Hey.
So, this is not the first time Cynthia has done this type of like holding on to Ariana Grande. They had a situation where they were taking like a photo shoot for Wicked, and a fan accidentally like the glass slipped out of her hand onto another fan, and Cynthia, she starts holding Ariana in a way. So I don't even want to watch this video that is most recent, because I just feel a secondhand embarrassment. Um, she just gives me Mammy vibes, like the caricature, the Mammy with the white woman, just to protect her, just I'm gonna be there for you. That's what it gives me. Also in the movie Wicked, Cynthia Elphaba, which she played Elphaba, she was always like that. She was always trying to get Ariana Grande to come with her to just, I guess, technically save her. But Ariana Grande, which was Glenda, like the white woman, she would stay with the people who she know, because she's the standard in the movie Wicked. So it's just, yeah, I've seen this before, and it's just giving Mammy, and I wouldn't even watch this because I'm just disgusted. That's all I gotta say.
All right, all right. I got you. I got you, Jim. I like I said, I don't want to be disingenuous to anybody on here. I don't like Cynthia Erivo. I never have, I never will. She's a disrespectful tether. that has disrespected Black American people while simultaneously trying to be in their culture and their spaces. I'm disgusted by her, and it's no secret that she's gonna be a mammy. I think there are a lot of people across the pond, and this is no disrespect to people that are across the pond, because I'm not saying it's everybody, but I do see a lot of extreme coonery and mammying coming from people that be over there, and it's like shocking. I know I made the mistake of interacting with somebody's video that was showing Black people across the diaspora, their reactions towards Queen Elizabeth's passing, and the amount of Black women that I saw crying and hooting and hollering over that racist white lady. I was absolutely flabbergasted. Honestly, I literally saw a Black woman crawl on her knees in her place of business to be patted on the head by Prince Charles. I'm like, what the is going on with these Negroes across the diaspora? Y'all can say what y'all want to say about Black Americans, and I know we have our problems and issues with coonery as well, but my God, I don't know too many Black people, and I don't know any of my circle that would get on their knees and crawl over to be patted on the head by Donald Trump. Like, I'm sure it's somebody, but my goodness, bro. Like, what the heck is going on? What's going on? Like, for real, we gotta stop this. We gotta stop this, honestly, for real, for real. But like I said, today is just like a free topic. I am talking currently about Cynthia Erivo and her acting like a mammy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But right now, or Aunt Jemima, but we don't have to just talk about that. Like I said, I was on another live where a woman came up and was talking about monogamy and how monogamy isn't healthy. I wanted to talk about that and get your guys' thoughts on that as well. And also, hopefully I can get Zora in here, but I don't know if she'll be available or whatever. But I wanted to also talk about Black men being a third gender, because I was on one of her lives and she was talking about that, and I thought that it was interesting what she was saying. But let me just keep going, you guys, so that I can get everybody a chance to speak. I think the next person to speak was Ray Bay. Okay, let me start everybody's timers now since it's getting to be a full house. Go ahead, Ray Bay.
Hey y'all. So, oh my gosh, this topic is it's very like triggery and close to me, because growing up in like a predominantly like white town and like a white high school, I was like literally 140 pounds and 5'2", but like anytime like an altercation would occur, or like maybe we had problems with different girls in my friend group, the first thing people would say is like, oh, like at least Rave Base here, like she's gonna fight, like we know she like, and you know what I mean, the microaggressions with that too, because obviously I was like one of the only dark-skinned girls in my friend group, and like, because I've had that experience where people just expected me to like be this fighter or this aggressive person, or the person who was gonna be like the front runner to fight for everyone. And like, looking back and reflecting and seeing how like little I was, it's like just the masculization of being a Black woman is so prominent in like little ways that like I didn't even think about until this situation occurred. Like, and I think it's like on the flip side with Cynthia, like feeling like you need to do that. Like, I know that there was somebody on here who was saying that like, oh, like she understood why Cynthia did it because like where were the security guards? But she's not security, and that's the point. Like, we're not the world police. And it took me a long time to deconstruct that like I don't have to be the savior. That yeah, like just because I am like a confrontational person or I'm going to defend myself doesn't mean I need to defend other people. Like, you're on your own, you're grown, you're an adult, you can defend yourself. So I think that it's just one of those things where it's like we as Black women feel like we need to be a call to action. At least I used to feel that way, because I can admit that I was like that. Just like a passionate person who cares about their friends. But at the end of the day, it's like, no offense, but bitch, you fight for yourself. Like, why is it that you think that I'm gonna fight for you? I'm gonna jump in front of a bullet for you. Like, why is that my responsibility? And the older I got, the older I deconstructed that, because we shouldn't be the people on the front lines, because who's on the front lines for us? And like the infantilization of Ariana Grande makes me so annoyed, because she's definitely one of those people. She's she's out here like being like you know what I mean? You know how Ariana Grande gets down. She's, you know, having sexual affairs with people's husbands, and somehow, some way, it's like, oh, well, it's Ariana Grande, she can do no wrong. And I don't know, it's just frustrating. So I understand what you feel, especially when it comes to Cynthia, and that's where I land.
All right, I got you, Ray Bay. So always good to hear from you, sis. All right, let me go up here to YMPP. Go ahead, YMPP. I'll start your timer, sis.
I just wanted to say, what's up, Chigai? Are you?
Oh my goodness, Kalandra, this is you, sis.
Yes, it's from my film page.
Okay. I gotta remember when I see this that's you.
Yeah, I wanted to say back to your point about Cynthia Erivo, and as I was arguing with somebody in the comments, is that for me, I'm not gonna say maybe don't like them, but I feel like sometimes they definitely like to think very low of black people from America, especially like as an immigrant stance, because they look at us and be like, well, y'all have all these opportunities, and they typically don't look at systemic racism. And I have been around people like from other across the pond, and like the way that they speak about like poor black people is very sad. Like it's similar to the propaganda that they hear from white Americans. I think it's very sad that black women are seen as masculine, but I feel like Cynthia Erivo, she definitely one of those off types. Because why do you feel the need to protect that YT woman? Like, she would not do the same for you. And to be honest with you, she's way more protected than you are. And like I said, for me, I never really respected typically BLK women who always had like a bunch of white friends, because they typically act very weird. And yeah.
All right, I got you. I want to say to somebody in the comments, Yappington. I don't know who you are or what type of time you on, but I noticed that you said, "Girl, please." 99% of you have never done anything to rest from. What have you done? What are you doing actively right now, currently, while you bumping your gum to my comments, disrespecting somebody that's in the live? Like, that's what I want to know. Who the heck are you? You know what I'm saying? As you sit there with this AI picture of Kamala Harris, like, who the fuck are you? Like, and I really feel like a lot of y'all get very comfortable talking trash in my comments. I don't know why you follow me, but keep in mind, I really do pay attention to the things that y'all say. And I just want you to know you're getting blocked right now, Yappington, so you can yap your butt right somewhere else. Goodbye. So Yappington is gone, y'all, just so that y'all know y'all don't have to interact with that person anymore because they are blocked. So like I said, they won't be able to talk to you. They're gone. All right, let me keep going up here to next to Nina. Go ahead, Nina.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, girl. First off, I want to say thank you for bringing this topic up, because when I saw this video originally on TikTok, I was so ashamed, and I'm looking through the comments seeing if anyone's pointing out what's really happening, like the optics, you know what I'm saying? Like Ariana's all huddled up, acting scared, and Cynthia Erivo jump into her rescue. It was embarrassing. It was shameful, actually. Couldn't be me. Could not be me, girl, because if it was me on the red carpet, girl, I would have moved back. Like, somebody get me too, because, girl, are you serious? But I guess that's like the lesbian in her, or maybe they do have something sexual going on here where, you know, how usually in those kind of relationships, there's like a masculine one and a feminine one. It's clear what position Cynthia is in. She's in her masculine bag. She's presents as a masculine woman. And this is why I don't support shows like, or movies like Wicked, because even the whole dynamic of her character, she's green, she's all matronly with all like, they could have done Alpha, but I don't know nothing about Wicked, like, but they could have really made her like a fashion girly for real if they really wanted to. For any other race, they probably would have. If she was an Asian girl, they probably would have made her a little more fashionable, gave her more outfits. Apparently, her character only had one look. She was green on top of that, and they try to make that like correlate, if I'm using that word correct, with her blackness, with her being like, clearly this is the more unattractive woman of color, particularly black You know what I'm saying? So I was so ashamed seeing the black women in the comments of Hollywood Unlocked and in TikTok saying, oh, well, look, us black women, we're gonna protect. It's like, that's not a good thing. That's a man's role. See, this is why a lot of y'all single don't have no husbands, because y'all don't know how to fall back. Because, baby, could not be me. Could not be. I would have let that girl get ran over with whatever little twink was going to come up there. He wasn't going to do no harm. Girl, he did not look that dangerous. Girl, back up. Girl. But anyway, Trigger, I also want to ask you or let you know that there's a page that I follow from years ago. It's called Before They Were Famous. On Facebook, they had posted something called, and this is a little off topic, but you know how it's that movie White Chicks. Well, they had a little spoof, a little AI picture called Black Chicks. I think you should look at it. I don't know if I should email it to you, but you'd be surprised with the comments and how people are in the comments saying that they want to see this movie done, girl. It's really embarrassing. So I have to.
Okay. Okay, I got you. Yeah, send it over to me. I'll take a look for sure. Um, yeah, but I'm used to people trying to find some way to make black women the butt of the joke. I'm not for sure if they'll be able to put that in play with the way things are, but they might be able to. Let me go up here to PG 1908. Go ahead, sis.
Triggered. Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How you doing, Trigger? It's been a long time since I've been on your panel. I jump on when I can. Girl, this think piece has me it has me going in a lot of directions with my thoughts. If there's any I guess BLK people that are not FBA, you guys like coming into FBA spaces, so you're gonna get some FBA talk. Spit out the bones, take the meat. However, I'm not trying to step on no toes. I'm just trying to give my take. When it comes to people of the diaspora, you do understand, everybody understands the history. We are dealing with the descendants of people who sold our ancestors. We are the descendants, FBA people, we are the descendants of our ancestors, and we are dealing with the descendants of people who worked with, in collusion with the colonizers, to do what they did to our ancestors. So we're at war spiritually. And we already know who Cynthia Erivo belongs to. I mean, let's not make any bones about that. BLK, people of the diaspora, your ancestors, people from the continent, their ancestors, they colluded with a lot of these colonizers in works to get our ancestors in the situations that they were in. I don't want to get into a whole history piece, but I want you guys to understand that history. So we're dealing with people who already wanted a seat at the table with the colonizers. So they're never going to see the throw up your fist, Afro pick, BLK pride type. They're never going to see that because historically they were always on the side of the colonizer. That's how our ancestors got on the boat in the first place. Let's be clear. So when FBA people, particularly FBA women, the 92%, because America never forgot that. America never forgot that we were the 92%. America never forgot that. And they're going to always work to punish, to break our image, especially when we have BLK women in Congress who are actively trying to work on behalf of the people, even though America doesn't see it that way. They're going to always use people who were historically against us, even if they look like us, they were historically against us, to tear down what we as FBA worked so hard for. And here's why it's so important for the 92% to conserve your energy and not be so quick to link up with people of the diaspora. I'm not saying just completely be dismissive, but we have to start to shape our image and protect our reputation, because America never forgot about the 92% and what we did, and they're going to always try to find ways to punish the 92%, even if they have to use our historic traitors to do so. And that's what this is a reflection of.
All right, I got you, PG 1908. I think that you made a lot of great points. I want to ask somebody in the comments. I think your name is Lols too. Where are you from? before before I block you, because I need to know where you're from. Where are you from? That's what I need to know. Like, where are you from? And hopefully Zora is in here somewhere so we can talk about topic number 3. But Lulz, Lulz, whatever your name is, where are Lulz to? Where are you from? Really? Where are you from? And I really need to know that right away. Like, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to type in the chat or to get in the box and tell me where you're from. And that's gonna determine whether I'm gonna block you or not. Because you are a liar from the deepest, darkest pits of hell. Yes, you are. So where are you from though? For real, that'll determine how I feel. Where are you lost to? Oh, it's so funny you silent right now. You was just bumping your gums a lot in this comment section. But now you know where to be found. Like, I know she not FBA PG 1908. I know. I'm about to just go up there and block her. Like, she's already gone. Like, she's gone right now. Blocked. Okay. That's it for that. Because that was just like, bro, you over here talking about what you about to say. Boy, oh, okay. And I think that like right there, and I've said this before, like I just said this earlier. I'm not saying that Black American people, we don't have some Black Americans here over here that participate in coonery, right? We got our Candace Owens, we got our, my mind is drawing a blank on the Black men that do it, but it's plenty of them. You got Tommy Sotomayers and O'Shea Duke Jacksons, and I think there's another guy named Brandon. He's a super
Clarence
guy that
Thomas, Clarence Thomas,
Clarence
Shannon
Thomas.
Sharp.
Exactly. It's a lot. But once again, I just want to say, with that being said, the type of coonery that Black Americans engage in is nothing like the coonery that goes on across the diaspora. Like I just said, I watched a Black woman get on her knees and crawl on her knees to be patted on the head by Prince Charles. I saw Black women on the ground weeping and wailing for Queen Elizabeth losing her life, passing away. I don't know really no Black person in my whole life that would ever do any junk like that. Even the Black men that I know that seem to be like a little bit on the coonery side, they would never do that. I don't know none. So I don't know what y'all talking about for real, but stop the games here. Please don't do it. Don't do it. You tell me how many Black women you think over here in the United States of America, especially since we talk about the 92%, like PG 1908 was saying. How many Black women do you think you gonna see getting on your knees, getting on their knees to be patted on the head by a racist white figurehead, huh? Please don't play with me. Don't act like you don't know what we're talking about, because you know exactly what we're talking about. Okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. And once again, never mind, because I don't want to get messy with y'all. I really don't. Because
Trigger, go ahead and be messy.
it's
Because
like
these
y'all just
people
can't
need to
tell me.
understand.
Okay, then I'm gonna get messy. Let me just say, I'm not listening to nobody that is in the majority, right? You're somewhere where you're the majority and you're still getting hoed by white people. You're still getting hoed by Asian people. It's a bajillion of y'all over there, and you got doggone Asians whipping you, smacking you, telling you that you're not welcome in establishments when the majority of y'all is there. You got the numbers. Stop it, please. Y'all can't tell me nothing. Y'all can't tell me nothing about nothing. If I see that the majority of y'all is there and y'all still letting white people and Asian people play in y'all freaking faces, and y'all want to tell me that y'all the freedom fighters and we the lowly FBAs over here, please find a bridge and take a trip. If you get my drift, please don't play with me. Anyway, yeah. So my thing is that, yes, I don't like Cynthia Erivo, but I do think that it's true, just like the lady said on the panel. There's a lot of things that go on with them over there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be funny, but there's a lot of things that go on with people across the diaspora that is extremely insane, extremely deep rooted in. I don't even understand where it even. Never mind. if Black American people cannot be like that, and we are still in enemy territory, and we have been in enemy territory for hundreds of years, and we still can maintain not doing that as a collective, what the fuck are y'all doing? Huh? When it's the majority of y'all over there. I never understood that. I never even understood like why there's way more bleaching across the diaspora. So you mean to tell me that it's nothing but dark-skinned people over there, and somehow y'all let a very small percentage of white people tell y'all that y'all are too black? If the largest percentage of bleaching was over here in America, that would make more sense, even though that's not happening. Y'all get what I'm saying? There's something wrong. Please don't. These things are very easily fact checkable. These aren't lies that I'm telling. So it's just like, what? What? Anyway,
But Trigger, it's a price that that continent has to pay for what they did to our ancestors. I mean, and I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to always believe that until they make it right with FBA people, that continent is never going to prosper. It is never going to win. Those people, and then in the midst of their arrogance, they come to America, look down on FBA people, talk bad on FBA people when it was the price that our ancestors and great grandparents paid for them to be here in the first place. Until the people of the diaspora, especially from the continent of Africa, make it right with what they did to our ancestors, their continent is going to always look like that. I mean that.
And you know what? I definitely agree with you thinking of it from that perspective, because I've always wondered, like, I've had these discussions a lot, and I'm like behind the scenes, and I'm always like, why in the world is it so much corruption, crime, abuse, murder, all of these things going on in these countries where black people are making up the largest percentage? Why is it so horrible over there? Why can't you get it together? You're telling black American people that you're so much better, that you're so superior, you're so much of hard workers, you're so much this, that, and the third. But when I see the fruits of your labor, that's not what I see. I see 60 to 70% of the countries not having electricity or running water. I see y'all making it very public and open that you say with pride how you grape the women and children in your communities. I want to know what the heck is going on. And now that you mention that, that's probably what that is. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a curse on y'all. Just like my first husband, I told him, I said, you know what? The things that you have done to me, you will pay for the rest of your life for the things that you've done. You will never be right. You will never have peace. You will never be happy until you make what is right, what you have done to me, and you will never be able to make it right. And where is this man at? On the streets, on illegal substances, shooting up, selling his little bussy for rocks. And he's never been right since then. And that's been, I don't know. I can't remember how long it's been. I know I've been married 16 years to my
He's
husband
been turned
now.
into a
So like,
reprobate. That's what
yes, he's
happened.
horrible. He's in a bad state. And I really do feel like when you put out egregious harm against someone else and they really internalize that and they say, hey, things ain't gonna work out for you, and they not. Like that PG-19 is exactly correct on
But
that.
let me add this real quick too, Trigger. And I don't want to take up too much time because I know we got other people on the panel. But if you look at the people who are still on the continent and the history of what they did to the people on that continent, look at the people that they were in collusion with. They were in collusion with the Middle Easterners. The Middle Easterners got money. They were in collusion with the Europeans. The Europeans got money, but they got nothing. They made a deal with two powerhouses back in the day. Both of those powerhouses got rich and left them in the dirt. Our ancestors came to another powerhouse, and that's why they're so mad, because they feel like everything the FBA got in terms of culture, in terms of recognition, in terms of just natural light, they felt like they should have had it. And that's their problem. That's why they have so much venom towards us.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I think that this is a very good discussion. Let me go down here to Miss Calandra. You have something to say, sis?
I wanted to add a point about what you just said about how they look down on us, because I was on a live and they were talking about, as you know, with the food stamps and stuff going on here in America, and it was like these African people, men and women, and they were like, yeah, I don't understand, like you guys were born here. Like, why are you so poor? Why are you depending on your government? I came here and I built better lives for myself. And I just thought to myself, and at that point I was like, yeah, I don't even talk to people like that because their viewpoints be very equated with white supremacy. Like, I really hate to say that, but I feel like for you to make comments like that and not look at systematic oppression and then feel like because of the hardship that you had to go through immigrants and you don't look at systemic racism, I just can't respect people like that. And I've seen them bash American black women several times. For me, I just don't. And then I feel like a lot of the women be pick-me's. Like, I'm sorry. Because it was women agreeing with it too. Like, yeah, I was in the grocery store and this woman had all these kids and she didn't have a ring on and she was with her EBT card. And I was just like, girl.
Yeah, I mean, I see it a lot. I really do. And I see it across the diaspora too. Because somebody said, like, I'm not going to say what group, but somebody said such and such is not like that. I see it across the diaspora, in every part across the diaspora. I really do. And I find it to be utterly disturbing. But you know what it is that, and this is crazy because I came to this conclusion that I realized that this is even before like Tariq Nasheed was doing the FBA stuff. I really came to this conclusion that like Black American people, even though I didn't know how to like say it with my, like, to explain it properly, but I think it was at least maybe like, I'm talking about 18 years ago, y'all. 18, 19 years ago. Let me say not that long ago, maybe 15. I remember seeing a post on I think it was on Facebook maybe, and it was about like food. And I saw they were talking about who's got the best food, and it was like Caribbean food, Jamaican food, African food, all of these different foods across the diaspora, and also Black American food, like candy yams and mac and cheese and collard greens and all of that stuff. And I remember seeing all of these Black people across the diaspora talking about the Black American food, how it was slave food, it was disgusting, how we can't cook this, that, and the third. Like, they was going in, tearing up Black American people. This was a long time ago. And I remember being like, oh, I thought we were all Black. Like, that was at my point. I was thinking, like, I looked at everybody across the diaspora as just Black. Like, it doesn't matter if you're Jamaican. It doesn't matter if you're Caribbean. It doesn't matter if you're Nigerian. It doesn't matter if you're Kenyan. It doesn't matter if you're Sierra Leonean. It doesn't matter where you, Liberian, whatever. If I see Black skin, you're a Black person. And that let me know at that time, like, oh, wow, like, well, they don't look at us like that. They don't. And that's when it first clicked to me that there was a difference. And it's crazy because and if you notice that it's always we all Black. If Black American people do something that people like, or the other Black people across the diaspora want to steal and appropriate the culture that we create, then we all Black. But if something happens to where it's something that is connected to their particular people, then no, it's just for the Caribbeans only. It's just for the Jamaicans only. It's just for the Nigerians only. It's just for the Kenyans only. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, oh, okay. I peep game. And that's why I do think that delineation is very important. And for people to talk about, we all Black. Black people were always tribal. There were always separation and always different groups. So why is it okay for you to come over here with your Jamaican flag, you know what I'm saying, your Nigerian flag, all of your stuff, and show that this is for your people, but the first time Black American people be like, hey, you know what, this is for us. Now all of a sudden we are the world up in this piece. Yeah, no. But anyway, I'm getting off the topic. I knew I was going to be that way when discussing Cynthia Erivo, who is the exact type of person that I'm talking about, a disrespectful tether that talks about Black American people, talks about how they have no culture, talks about how they are beneath her, but then want to turn around and play Harriet Tubman. Then want to turn around and be in Black American culture all the time with her big Cro-Magnon man bucket head. Like, oh my gosh. Like, her head is so big and dented up and huge. Like she looked like somebody doggone, you know, the Macy Day Parade floats. That's what her head looked like. It could just somebody could just detach it and put a doggone balloon little string on it and just fly her up above. Big old head. Like anyway. Oh my goodness, sorry y'all. I gotta calm down. Like I said, I probably shouldn't even discuss her because I really don't like this lady. Like, and when I really don't like someone, it's hard for me not to just go for the jugular because I really don't like her. But anyway, let me just keep going. I'm gonna go up here to Unwritten, and then I'll go down here to Miss Supervillain. Go ahead, Unwritten.
Girl.
Sorry.
Oh man. No, I completely agree with everything that you're saying. Like, we have been raised to see everything flat blackness, you know, rooting for everybody black. That's how we all were raised until being exposed to the rest of the diaspora, realizing that we're not raised the same and we're not raised to see each other the same. And I think it's very important for us to really have a conversation, you know, around the diaspora and how, because we are raised so differently, and our relationship to white tea supremacy is also very different too. But it's impactful now because they are almost like stepping in as representation for our group when we're not the same. And it's like, clearly, I honestly don't think that Cynthia Erivo would even be having opportunities in the same capacity if it hasn't been for Black Americans paving the way in the movie industry. So now that the opportunities are expanded across the globe, it's like Africans got to get on code. Like, they have to get on code when it comes to protecting Black women's image globally. I don't think that they have conversations around what being on code is or what even is code. And how you make sure that your image is not being tarnished and that you're not feeding into white tea supremacy with these tropes, and how they use, and now like they're using different people in the diaspora to push these tropes that we rejected. We're like, no, we're not about to play that type of image because we recognize how damaging that is. Meanwhile, they're going to get them to play it. And it's like, why on earth would we ever play a wicked character? Like, that is literally textbook white tea supremacy. Why is the Black woman so, deformed and outcast and, coming to this mammy trope towards this, little delicate, it's just like, it's such textbook, and promoting that is detrimental to all of us at the end of the day. So I think it's very important that, the diaspora really, like, y'all need to not just study our history, but y'all need to really understand what white tea supremacy is, how it works, how it moves, and how you're participating in it, and how it's not beneficial to you at the end of the day. Everything isn't worth a check. And, y'all need to develop some morals around that, because just going and doing things for opportunities while not considering the implications of it is detrimental. And it's sloppy. And so that's another contribution of why delineation is important, because we can't make them, adopt our understanding of around our culture and around the impact of what's that's like globally. We can't make them get on our code at the end of the day. So, but they're showing their colors, but I just honestly think it's these cultural differences that we have in different relationships with white tea supremacy that is really determining how they move and how we move, and how we're like, how are y'all just, we would never allow some of the stuff that they do in our country. And then even, I think someone was in the comments, I was asking them, like, how do y'all hold y'all COONs accountable? Like, how do y'all hold them? And it was like, oh, we just laugh at them and we just, ignore them. It's like, so y'all don't actually see that being a dangerous thing of what they're doing. And y'all don't hold them accountable at all. So I'm like, yeah, it's about time that the diaspora, like, we speak in that way, because they really haven't heard it from us.
All right, I got you, Unwritten. All right, let me go down here to Supervillain, and then I'll go up there to Nina. Go ahead, Supervillain. You there, Supervillain? Oh, you said spin a block. Okay, I got you. All right, then I'll go up here to Nina. Go ahead, Nina.
Okay, I also think the bald head of Cynthia Erivo speaks volumes too. It's kind of like, because I'm really into fashion, so I watch like a lot of fashion like shows and stuff. And kind of like how you said, like, I thought we were all black. I kind of got like feelings of there's a difference between people from Africa, from us African Americans, when I would see constantly the same type of model being promoted in the fashion industry, which was a deep, dark complexion with no hair. And that would be the majority of models. Deep, dark, no hair, deep, dark, no hair. And, I'm more of a brown skinned woman. So I could never really, I didn't feel like a connection to those women that they were promoting all up and down the fashion industry because, when I was coming up in the 90s, it was more variety. You had Beverly Johnson, Naomi Campbell, Tyra Banks. And it seems like the industry kind of got rid of that type of beauty. And it's trying to basically brainwash people into thinking that in order to be elevated, Black women have to kind of be in their little masculine bag and have no hair, when even the women around me and the majority of women that I know, even like women I see from Africa, they don't have like, they're not bald. They either have natural hair or they are, weaved up. So I think even with her choosing to be bald and letting that elevate her career and be her image speaks volumes just on who she is as a person, what she feels inside. She's not trying to represent Black women as beauty or feminine at all. I actually agree with you that she's trash to me. I'm sorry, I could never rock or support somebody like that. It's really sad to see, and I'm getting tired of seeing this image of the Black woman no hair. Because that's not even common for real. Even the crackhead on the street gonna put a wig on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like, that's just all I have to really add to the situation. And like I said, I just appreciate you bringing this to life because it was just so sad seeing all those comments of these Black women that were happy that Cynthia Erivo jumped for Ariana Grande like that.
And you know what? I think that the reason why you saw so many Black women happy that Cynthia Erivo did that is because there are a lot of Black women that still have low racial self-esteem, and they also still have been deeply indoctrinated with the ideology that they're supposed to be the mammy to non-Black women, which is the reason why, if you notice, there are a lot of times Black women will give far more grace to non-Black women. Let me go ahead and block Ann, I think it is. I'm gonna block Ann, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna block her. It's like you know how you see like Black women that were going hard in the paint to defend Erica Mena when she called Spice a blue monkey? Or you see Black women going hard defending Evelyn Lozada when she was attacking OG, a dark-skinned Black woman? Or you see Black women make all type of excuses for Cardi B and call Cardi B a Black woman, even though she is not. And even though she said it out of her own mouth that she is not. And she has also called Black women burnt roaches repeatedly. She's called Black women burnt without the roach after it. Called them roach, and then called them burnt roaches on multiple occasions. Yet Black women still sing this woman's praises and want to be her and uplift her and spend her money and her coins with her. I think that a lot of times that Black women, there are a lot of Black women that feel like it's their role to be the pit bull, to be the attack dog. And sometimes they may not even know that they're even doing it, because I think I told this story before, but back when I was in hair school, I was cool with this white girl or whatever, and she let people play in her face. And I have never let people play in my face. Like, I am a very confrontational person. I'm not confrontational. I can be non-confrontational, but if there's a confrontation that needs to be had, I don't shy away from it. I don't have a problem being confrontational with others. Now, I do try not to be, but if I have to get in that bag, I will. And I remember being in hair school, and these little Mexican girls or whatever took her seat because she used to sit next to me. And I knew that they did it on purpose because they knew she wasn't going to say nothing. And I remember I went to the little Mexican girls and I was like, hey, this is my friend's seat. What the fuck is y'all doing? Get y'all stuff up out of here, or there's going to be a problem. And, they moved this stuff. They did tell on me though. They told on me. The white girl went, she got her stuff. She sat next to me. And then the teachers or whatever brought us all in this room and said, hey, did you tell these girls to get the stuff up? Did you talk to them crazy? I'm like, yeah, because, they moved my friend's stuff. And she just left me hanging. Like I was this type of angry black woman that was causing trouble, but it wasn't really a big deal to her. And I was like, wow, wow, wow. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is that I just automatically did that. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even recognize what that was. I was already on the attack and on the defense for a woman that wouldn't do the same for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And clown catcher, let me block you who said it'll never happen. Like you're a clown yourself. Okay. And I see the picture that you got up. Get up out of here. Cause it's absolutely true. Like for real. That really happened. And I didn't even recognize the thought processes behind that until, after I became more aware of how I think sometimes we're even programmed in a way that we're not even aware of to do things like that is all I'm saying. And that's not giving any excuses for black women to be out here acting crazy, especially now you got social media. You have so many avenues for people to help you unpack this type of behavior. But, I'm just saying I'm not above it. I had done it before. After that happened, though, I said never again. I've never, ever behaved like that again. But I did feel bad for her because she was just like I said, she was just like weak. And you know what I'm saying? She let them play in her face. And I knew why they did it. And I was just so upset because I was like, y'all know y'all would have never did that to me. Y'all would have never tried me like that. Y'all would have never moved my stuff and it sat in my seat like that. Y'all did that to that girl because y'all feel like y'all could, and that just really made me upset. But anyway, super villain, are you ready now, sis? Well, she might not be ready yet. Okay. Yeah, but that's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, it was just, yeah. But I get what y'all are saying. Did you have anything to say, PG 1908?
Yeah, I wanted to make a real quick comment. I wanted to say something in regards to somebody on the panel. I think it was, I don't know, somebody on the panel said that the people from the diaspora, especially from the continent, they have to get on code. Well, see, that's the thing. They're not trying to be on code. If anybody knows, Asians, all due respect, they have worked hard to make themselves the acceptable minorities. I don't think there's anybody who would disagree about that. They are the acceptable minorities. They've made their money, they stay in their lane, they have their communities, they do what they do. Here's what people from the continent are trying to do. They're trying to make themselves the acceptable black people. That's why they work so hard to tarnish our image as FBAs, because they want to present as the acceptable black people in this country. I don't know if anybody is familiar with the Essence Festival that happens every 4th of July in New Orleans.
Yep.
Did y'all hear about what happened this year?
Yep. That they taking it over?
That they took it over, and it was just absolutely, and see, that's the type of stuff that I'm saying. They are trying to usurp what we as FBAs have traditionally done, because they're trying to present as the new and improved black people. I really want y'all to pay attention, and I really want y'all to just ride with me on that concept, because I see it slowly but surely. They're trying, those from the continent, now those from the islands, I don't really see this, I don't really know that, but those from the continent especially, they are really trying to take our seat. I just want y'all to ride with me on that concept.
I mean, I definitely agree with what you said. And the Essence Fest, I don't even think that I even said anything about this like publicly, because like I didn't want to alienate my black sisters across the diaspora, because like I love black women across the diaspora, but these things need to be talked about because these are issues that we're having. And I know I saw that stuff and I was like so mad. I was like, this is ridiculous. Why are we allowing this stuff to go on? Like for real. I was very upset by that, but I just didn't say anything. Like I was like, that's nuts, bro. And I just want them to know that it's not going to work, and it's not going to flourish, and it's not going to pop. And it's not going to be anything that people are really going to get on. It's not going to be mainstream. And the reason why is because I think what they fail to realize is that Black American culture is really the power behind everything. It's the power that powers the Black American culture, literally powers the entire globe. That's why you can go over there and see them fools in Pakistan doing doggone ciphers, rapping, and they barely even know what they saying. Yo,
But
yo.
see, Trigger, they
You
gonna
know?
always miss. People from the continent are gonna always miss when they mess with FBA. Why? Because they don't respect our culture. They don't even recognize our culture. And until they pay homage to Black Americans, everything they do is gonna fall apart. Why? Because we the ones who make this pop. And until you understand that and respect that and recognize that, you're never gonna have success with whatever you try to do.
Yeah, see, I don't know if I think that they don't respect our culture. I think that they're jealous of our position within the global space, how we are the representation of Blackness globally.
I mean, I don't
And
know. I feel like they don't respect it because back when I used to do hair, and I used to do a lot of African women's hair. And I remember, I think I told this story before too. I was doing this one lady's hair, and she was telling me about how she came here to America. I think she was Nigerian. And most of my negative experiences, no disrespect, in doing hair have been with Nigerians specifically. And she was telling me about how, like, she only knew about Black people from Boys in the Hood because Black women over here, are masculine and are baby mamas and don't work and aren't smart. And she was just saying all this crazy stuff. And I was just like, you really think that? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, I don't think that you're like that though. And I was just like, I was so disgusted by the things that she was saying. I was just trying to hurry up because she was getting silk pressed. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do this lady hair, and this is gonna be the last time I ever see this heifer again because you got me messed up. And I do think that a lot of people across the diaspora do not respect Black American people. I do think that if you want to add in an underlying reason, maybe it could be jealousy. But I definitely do think that there are a lot of them that do not like Black American people that will say you guys are don't mess with those Okadas. Don't bring any of those Okadas home. Don't deal with them, et cetera, et cetera. And but I do also agree with what PG 1908 was saying is that they're never going to be able to be successful in anything they do because of all the things that they've done. And not also like understanding, like I said, that Black American culture powers the entire world. Like, don't nobody know who all of them out doggone African Afro beat singers are, but everybody know who the Michael Jackson is, no matter where you at. You know what I'm saying? And this man been dead for quite a while. And everybody know who he is, and everybody always will. And that's my thing, is that that's the type of stuff that Black Americans do. And I've always wondered why everyone, and it isn't even just Black people across the diaspora, but it's just crazy that we do so much and everybody copy so much. White people copy, Asian people copy, Hispanic people copy, Africans and others across the diaspora copy, but yet somehow we are still looked at as the lowest across the diaspora. And I just say this, people like to uplift like Hispanics and Latinos for like their like brotherhood and stuff like that. And I didn't know until I started being in spaces, this was years ago, where I was lurking in other races spaces because I was trying to come to like this awakening about who I was, about my Blackness and everything else, because I was like, where is all this hatred coming from? And I noticed that a lot of Hispanics have a lot of disdain specifically for Mexicans. And I want to say, dang, it was another one because I was talking to a Hispanic person. They told me it was another one, another group that was specifically looked at kind of like looked at as the worst underneath everyone. But anyway, I'll just talk about the Mexicans for this point. I saw so many Hispanics and Latinos on this thread talking about Mexicans, how bad they were, how they were like animals, how they food is nasty and this, that, and the third. And I was flabbergasted once again because I was like, I could have sworn that y'all said that only Black people argue with Black people. Everybody else is a kumbaya moment. All the Asians love each other. All the whites love each other. All the Hispanics and Latinos love each other. The only people that don't love each other are the evil, mean, nasty, blackity black blacks. You know? And it's just not true. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me just keep going.
but see, Trigger, that's the thing. I think it comes off as disrespect because of the jealousy at the end of the day. Like, that's the projection. They're doing the same exact thing that white tea people did. it's essentially lying and gaslighting us that we're clearly the best, but I'm going to tell you that you're the worst. You see what I'm saying? And so it really does come from a place of they are really jealous of the fact of what we've been able to accomplish and that they are directly benefiting from us, and they are seeing themselves and their continent as supposed to be, the number one or the representation of Black people, and they're not and never have been. And so I think that they are very much so alike, like white tea supremacists. That's why they align with them so well. But at the end of the day, like, they're truly just upset. It's like you're not us at the end of the day, and there's nothing that's going to change that. But yeah, no, I agree with what y'all are saying.
All right. I got you unwritten. All right, let me go up here to Nina. Did you have something to say, sis?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to speak on like the whole Mexican versus other Hispanic people or Latina people. I was in the school program years ago when I was a teenager, and I remember there was this Mexican girl talking to me in the bathroom, and she was like, I don't know why Puerto Ricans feel like they're better than us because they're the ones with Black in them anyway. So technically, they're the lower ones. And she said that to me. I'm full Black. But I feel like because of the way I speak and the way I carry myself, people talk to me reckless and think like I'm a Candace Owens type of Black woman. Girl, I left that school. But it was just wild that a Puerto Rican girl or a Mexican girl would say that to me. Like I was going to be like, oh yeah, girl. Like, I don't know what was up with that. That's all I had to say.
All right, I got you. Yeah, that's wild. I probably would have had a chin checker, but I'm glad you didn't. But I probably would have got suspended. All right, let me go up here to Supervillain. Go ahead, Supervillain.
Thanks, Treg. Oh goodness, there's so much to say. I just wanted to bring up a couple points. The first one, someone had mentioned the bald Black woman trope. I think that's very intentional. I don't know. I think I sent you a couple videos, or I think I have, or one or two, with these different styles of like natural hair, and it looks just like so ethereal, and the different things that we can do with it. I think that's why they try to push that trope. If you remember, white tea people have a strong history with obsessing over our hair. I mean, they used it to stuff their furniture. Of course, they made the laws, the Tignon laws, for us to cover our hair. So there's a really, really deep history with our hair. That's why I feel like they push that bald look. And I'm not for nothing. They try to masculinize Black women, but I can say there have been some beautiful Black women with no hair. So if you could be that beautiful with no hair, imagine having hair. Um, how much of a threat we are. So the hair thing, I think that's definitely something intentional. When it One thing that irks my nerve when you tell the stories about your Nigerian clients, Trig, and please, I want to let you know it's always best to tell the truth. Whoever gets offended, they'll get over it. Whoever doesn't, they can leave. I'm always going to be with you telling the truth, no matter what side. You know, I told you I'm both. I'm on my mother, I'm Black American. On my father, I'm Nigerian. But there is no more of a pick me worse than a Nigerian religious woman. And for the fact that they bring up the single mother thing is weird to me. I don't know if I've told you this trick, but my family does charity work in different villages in Nigeria. And some of the most people who need help are the single moms. I don't know why Nigerians act like there are no single moms in that country. On top of single moms, there are people who totally abandon their children. Like there's children on the street totally abandoned. So this whole single mom trope, I don't know where it comes from. There are so, and not just in Nigeria, seriously around the world, there are so many single mothers. I do not understand why that huge label is just on Black American women. But there are single moms everywhere. The majority of our charity work are for mothers who have been abandoned by the so-called providers in that country that is so misogynist. And I think a big thing about it is not that we don't get slack as Black American women when we're single mothers, but we're able to still achieve and do things in our community. Unfortunately, they don't have the opportunity to do that. So I think a lot of the time, a jealousy is set in um is, I mean, I don't want to stretch, but I believe there is a jealousy set in that even though we have that bad quote unquote label, we're still able to access and reach and do things for our children. But the whole single mother thing, please don't ever get it twisted, y'all. Don't. It is a huge population in all countries that have single moms. I do not know why that is such a label just put on black. That is a world thing. That's not a black American thing. There was one more thing, but I forgot, so I'm probably gonna spend the block. But I just wanted to make those points. Thank you.
I was trying to unmute myself. Sorry about that, you guys. Yeah, I definitely agree with everything that you guys are saying, and I appreciate the conversation. Um, I was thinking, did you guys want to go to the next topic? Did y'all want to talk about the next topic, or did y'all still want to talk about this? It doesn't matter what y'all want to talk about. Cause this is just like a free topic. I just kind
I
of put
like
this.
number two trigger. We can get into number two if everybody else
Yeah.
cool with it.
Okay. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Well, yeah, you guys, the reason why I'm asking this is because I was in a live earlier today and a woman came up and she said that like monogamy wasn't healthy. She was like, if you're in a relationship with somebody like it, and they're not sleeping with anyone else and you're not sleeping with anybody else and you guys think that y'all like belong to each other or whatever, that that's not healthy because nobody belongs to anybody. And I don't think that you should tell people like, hey, you belong to me, you're mine. But I don't think that monogamy is unhealthy. I think that that's a little weird. So but anyway, I just want to know what you guys think about that. And once again, y'all don't have to agree with me. Like, I'm open to hearing everybody's thoughts and perspectives on it. But yeah. T Scorpio, you said you thought that I was gonna do the live to centering men while married. Girl, okay. Stop it, okay? Because I saw the live that you were on yesterday, T. I think I said hey to you there. I saw that live where they were saying that stuff, and then I saw the next live that I think it was Sovereign Woman made in response to that live, and I was there too. I was listening to both lives. And that live, the second live that I'm talking about, is where they were talking about where a woman came up there and said like monogamy, wasn't healthy or whatever. And so I was just like, oh, all right, that's what we doing. I was like, we sharing. Never mind, let me not be funny. All right, look, I'm not even gonna be messy. I will be messy, but I'll wait until you guys get y'all thoughts. Till y'all get y'all thoughts out. Cause I was just like, bro, and then it was just like, I don't know. This never mind, because people gonna think that I have a stake in the game. I really don't care if people think that like I'm unable to decenter men because I'm married and I'm just secretly I got an apron on and you know what I'm saying. I'm just crawling on my hands and knees to make my husband a pot roast and some baked potatoes and I just, what can I do for you, King? Like if y'all think that's what I'm doing, like I can't help y'all. I can't help y'all, to be honest, because if y'all hear the way I yap here on this app, like, do y'all really think that? But if y'all think that, I can't stop y'all from thinking that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sorry. It's just so funny. It's just so laughable. I be wanting to tell black women, like, really honestly, not trying to make fun of people's trauma or anything, but have you has your experiences with men been that traumatic, or that you have allowed yourself to be beat down so much like that in every relationship that you're in that you cannot even conceptualize that there's a woman that can maintain her freaking self-esteem and still have some penis at the crib? I just don't know what to say about that. Like, I really don't. But all I'm just saying is that this ain't that. This ain't that, okay? But this is later in the evening, so I may be a little bit more candid than I normally am, y'all. Please forgive me. All
And
right.
can I kick us off? Can I kick us off?
Go ahead, sis.
Okay. Okay, so is monogamy healthy? I pose a question. Monogamy as in when I am in a relationship, I'm only dating one person, or I'm with one person for the rest of my life.
She was saying like, yeah, like if you're married or whatever, or I guess you're like in a committed relationship where it's like y'all are locked in whether you get married or not. If you say that y'all are not going to sleep with other people, that y'all are kind of like locked in with each other, that's not healthy, that's unhealthy.
Okay, so the latter. So when I am in a relationship, I am only in relations with one person, versus when when I get into my first relationship, I'm with that person for the rest of my life. So almost like serial monogamy, right? Like far as like relationships.
I don't know, because I think she really was framing it from like the marriage angle, to be honest with you.
Oh, so basically like monogamous marriage is
It's
unhealthy.
unhealthy. Yeah, it's unhealthy.
Got you. I don't necessarily think the monogamy is unhealthy just as a structure. I think people's mentality when it comes to their relationships can be unhealthy, pretty much regardless of the dynamic. When you prioritize something above yourself, and that's what we see a lot of women do in relationships, then to me that becomes an unhealthy dynamic. But when you're able to keep yourself centered regardless of your type of partnership, then I feel like you're able to navigate, pretty much any type of partnership.
Okay, I got you. I mean, my thing is that I think that when we have these conversations, if I could just be completely candid with y'all, we have these discussions about monogamy and stuff like that, and the patriarchy and all of that stuff. Like, that's cool, and I get what everybody's saying, but I think that people never look at it on just like a simple level, like as far as disease, as far as unwanted pregnancies, as far as you getting the bumps on your clitoris. Like, what are we talking about? Like, me personally, like, if I'm busting it open, we getting down and dirty, we getting freaky, we doing the oochie coochie, whatever. You bending me over and you're giving me back shots on a regular basis, okay? There's no way in the world you're finna be doing that with somebody else and bring that HPV and chlamydia and gonorrhea and syphilis and herpes simplex virus number 78 million trillion different strains onto my vulva. You're not going to do that, baby. I'm not going to do it. And that's what I think. Like, does anybody not think about this? Do you care about your vagina? Do you care about going to get your pap smear and your doctor says, excuse me, I'm looking in here, it looks like we got a whole bunch of stuff going on that we need to let me stop. You know what? I'm doing too much. Let me go up here to T Scorpio. I think I'm just gonna work my way down, okay? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm doing too much. I can feel it. All right, go ahead, T.
I don't think monogamy is unhealthy. I think monogamy is unhealthy when a person knows that's they're incapable of being monogamous and trying to be in a monogamous relationship and convincing the other person, no, that's not me. That's when I would say it's unhealthy. But everyone, whatever floats your boat. I mean, there are some people out here that really do feel like they can't be with one person for the rest of their life. I mean, that's cool. That's good. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna judge somebody because if I mention my background all the time, I was a damn cheater. I could do whatever I want to do. That don't mean like I stacked up bodies high. Just that the next dude that I like was like, okay, this is my next potential boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna hold on to him. And the reason why I felt like I don't need to be faithful to you because one, you're not my husband. Two, you don't own me. Three, this is my vagina. Four, I can do whatever I want. And most likely you already know that, you was a placeholder to begin with. So how you got me, most likely is the same way how you gonna lose me. And I never deceived the man how it was in nature, you know. So I think, like I said, I only think that monogamy is only wrong, is only bad, unhealthy. I would say use the word unhealthy for the people that's trying to not deny themselves of who they are. You don't have to try to be faithful if it's not in your nature. Just don't be in a relationship. That's basically it. Just don't be with nobody. If you know that you are incapable of sticking with one person, then just break yourself free. The person's going to be hurt, but it is what it is. Oh, hold on. My niece want me. Hold on.
All right. I got you, T. All right, let me go down here next to Peaceful Homebody. Go ahead, sis.
Hey, yeah, I agree a lot with T. I feel like monogamy is healthy when one happily and willingly chooses it. not just because they're afraid of what their family will say or it's against the societal norm. I'm not that big on a lot of societal norms. Or maybe they're scared to have an honest conversation with with themselves or their partner. So if it's where you're a square and you keep trying to fit yourself into this circle and you're going to fail at it, you're going to cheat, you're going to be dishonest, the person that you're with is not going to have a happy, fulfilled you because you're not being honest about what you want, then that's when monogamy becomes like truly unhealthy. And I feel like people should have the right to choose what lifestyle they want to live, but they need to be honest about it. Like some people, they're ethically non-monogamous. That's what I'm here for. You're telling someone straight up, it ain't never going to be just you. That lifestyle doesn't fit to me. And if they agree to be with you, then they know what they're getting. And that's healthy. Each person should feel fulfilled. No one's lying about what they want. And yeah, so overall, my point is choose for yourself whether monogamy is healthy or not. Don't do it because society tells you. Don't do it because somebody told you it's healthy. Choose it for yourself and then be honest about it and see who aligns with that and who will want to be with you with that being your story. Yeah, that's all I had.
All right, I got you. I got you, Peaceful. I appreciate you, sis. All right. Yeah, like I said, you guys, I mean, I understand everybody has their own thoughts when it comes to relationships, partnerships, whether to have one, whether not to, whether you want to be monogamous, whether you want to be open. I just feel like it's weird to just, I guess, to shame people that are participating in it in that way. And then in another way, then I don't know. I mean, I do know what I want to say, but I'm gonna let everybody else speak before I get into it. Okay, go ahead, Zora. Hey, how you doing, sis? Good to see you.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello. I wanted the king to speak first. Is that a king at the top of the pyramid?
I'm not for sure. Okay, I'll get to him first then, Zora. I think so though. Let me go up
I feel like
there.
he's gonna give me something
This
to
too.
yeah,
This
he's gonna give me something to chew on. I just have a
Oh,
feeling.
absolutely.
Uh-huh.
All right. This too shall pass.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, how
Hi.
you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Pretty good. Let me start your timer, sir. Oh shoot,
Okay.
I accidentally
Let me just get a clarification. Are we for the points? Are we trying to dive deeper on them?
it's like we're talking about point number 2 right now. So whatever you want to say about point number 2, that's up to you.
Okay. I think polygamy can be pretty healthy too. I don't think it always has to be monogamy or monogamous. It's a large spectrum. And I don't think anyone has the position to kind of say which way is better and which way is not, you know? That's kind of all I had to say.
So you cool with your woman having more than one man, and you think that's pretty healthy? Okay, got it. Great.
No, she wouldn't be my woman. She will be amongst a couple of women, actually.
So you wouldn't be the only man, though.
Hey, that's up to her.
Okay, so then it seems like you're actually for polygamy, not monogamy, which is not a problem, but right?
Yeah, I'm more polygamous, yeah.
Okay. All right, I got you. All right. Let me go down here. Zora, you had something to say. Let me restart your timer, sis.
I do. I don't know if I can go to number 3.
You can if you want.
I was gonna say on number 2, but the king just put himself in number 3. So I was like, you know what? I knew he was gonna give me something to work with. Thank you, King. Are black men a third gender? According to ... this too much, TEW, for those who are going to be watching on YouTube, the answer is yes. He said black men are a third gender. If you listen to his voice and the way that he carried his conversation, if you listen to that, it was, I don't know. I like statistics. One of the statistics says that BOK men have the most estrogen. And this too much, he says he has too much estrogen. That's what his name means. So I think he's a great example of that. Him trying to convince us and PG rightfully being able to call out that he's on some BS. Them trying to use words instead of use actions. Them trying to create a polygamy through polyamory without offering resources or marriage. they move as if they are not autonomous men. So
Excuse me. Did you say polygamy? I what? Him? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
this is a scholarly approach. Um, yeah, I think like I really, for to be honest, wanted to talk about number one, but I came in like I was on a call. So number two, is monogamy healthy? Did not answer the question. Did not answer the question. Literally went to idealism. Niggamy pole. Anyway, yeah, we're after dark. So he got real free. I know we can go back to number two, but I thought he would give me something, but okay, go ahead, King.
I was gonna say first, it's daytime where I'm at. Second, there's a certain. I'm not gonna tone police you. That's not my place. But there's a certain method of science that they use in the 1800s to prove that Black people are lesser than other white people because of parts of their skull. Is that the same method you're using to say that Black men should be a third gender, like Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or maybe your father?
I'm not saying they should be. I'm saying they are. It's a difference.
What?
I just said it. Like based on you having more estrogen, that's number one. Number two was the fact that you responded to me. You felt so emotionally out of yourself that instead of responding intellectually, you had to respond with insults. That's what I'm saying. Literally. Fuck Malcolm X, fuck him Martin Luther King, and fuck
Damn.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't like you can't move me. So you gotta try again. So that's the difference, right? You see how I can take that insult and then put you in a position where you're laughing out loud and that you're ashamed of yourself. That's what I'm saying. Third gender. Because one of the things they say about women is that we're emotional beings. You're gonna let me finish though, remember? We're emotional beings, right? And we don't have any control of our emotions. Now, I wouldn't put you as women because if you were Black woman, you would take care of your children collectively. You would establish some type of economy collectively. You would actually fight that white tea man collectively. You wouldn't let people dominate you collectively. You wouldn't let people play about your children collectively, right? So,
What are you talking about?
right,
That
like
doesn't even have anything to do with
I
the
didn't finish
prompt.
my statement. You coming off mute and not being able to control yourself when everybody has a turn because I didn't say anything when you were talking.
Very angry right now.
That's the difference.
Just relax. You seem very emotional.
And
Hey,
this is what
stop
makes
it.
you.
Stop it, sir. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is the host talking to you. That'll get you blocked. So don't unmute yourself
I
again.
hope all of your kids don't learn how to
Oh, okay.
read.
I got you. I got you. Bye bye. You're gone. I don't even know what he said. What did he say?
I don't either. I literally don't know.
Yeah,
My kid knows how to read already.
I try to talk over them when they're trying to get their last little words out so that nobody can hear it. That's what I normally do.
There we go, Trick. Because instead of saying Black women are the real men, let's just go ahead and call out this behavior that they have because you can't make them women because that would be disrespectful to Black women. So they're a third gender. And he came up here to prove it. Do you see how this works, Trick? Or it is after dark. Hello? Coach T in the building. T Scorpio, P, Supervillain, Unwritten, PG. Hey, how y'all doing? Let me stop trolling because people don't get my jokes, but I am serious about these topics. I was going to be on number two. I was going to take my turn. I was going to listen in. Is monogamy healthy? And this Negro came up here and didn't answer a question. I literally get irritated when they don't answer questions. They get irritated because they feel so free that they can come onto somebody's live and just change the prompt. Tonight is monogamy healthy, but how many HOEs can you have? Like, what is wrong with you? You know that you think somebody believes that you some big man pulling people? Are you out of your mind? Thank you, natural.
Speaking about when I hear men talk about polygamy, one or two things come to mind. One, you just broke. You just want to get multiple women to pay your bills, and they just stupid to actually go for it. And how the way he was talking, his little tone and everything, and I went to his page. Yeah, he probably dabble in both, and that's why he's a highly sexual person because the men who are very promiscuous, men who are very sexual, talk about they want to have sex with multiple people and it's all right that she's free to do whatever she want. That means you are saying that you're free to do whatever you want, and you look at sexuality as a spectrum, and you be doing all kinds of stuff, like all kinds of stuff, you know. So And the fact that he brought up, oh, when you talk about black men, do you mean Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and your father? Like he, out of all the black men that he can bring up to make a good example, he brought up Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, as if we were supposed to say, oh no, 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 not them. Because first of all, Martin Luther King already admit that he said that he felt like he led black people into a smoking house. That's number one. And number two, Malcolm X even said that, a nation is as good as how you treat their women, how you treat your woman. And as you can see, he clearly failed at that part right there. And it's funny how he mentioned Malcolm X. Malcolm X was against polygamy. You forgot about that part. Malcolm X was against it, which got him in trouble, with the people in his nation. But we don't have to go there on conspiracy theories and stuff like that. So with that being said, I do find it funny how when we do talk about black men, they always want to bring up those names, and a lot of these black men are not even living up to what Martin Luther King and Malcolm X even fought for. Actually, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X will be ashamed of y'all, very much ashamed of y'all. They will look at y'all and say, "Y'all disgrace everything that I have done." If they can
Yeah.
rise from the grave for one day and speak out loud, they'll say, "Damn, y'all really done failed me." Like y'all literally have these women quit y'all jobs. Like seriously.
You know what I find to be crazy is that he said something and he didn't even know the name of it. Like when he was talking about the head and skull shapes and stuff like that, the study of phrenology. I think it's so weird that even the ones that try to act like they have like some type of knowledge of something, they don't. And I think that that's another reason why it's difficult to interact with a lot of them, because of like I say this, like Dave Chappelle was talking about Candace Owens one time in a stand-up, and he was like, she's an articulate idiot, which means, she sounded like she knows something, but she really doesn't know anything at all. And I think that even going for the men that come up here that may know how to string a couple words together, they still don't know anything either, and it's always exposed and it's always embarrassing. But anyway, yeah, so like I said, I do want to talk about more into this topic about monogamy being healthy. I just feel like I think he was doing a lot of double talking, because I think he felt like he was going to get some type of pushback if he said something else. But I also did want to talk about, I guess, a side note too. Like, do you think that it's possible to decenter men being in a relationship? Because I thought that was very interesting. That had a lot of people thinking and a lot of people feeling some type of way about it. I mean, I don't really care, because I I mean, as far as being upset by whoever's perception is, because people perceive me to be all type of ways, and I can't think about that, because if I did, I'd go insane, because there are so many perceptions of me, but anywho, was who unmuted themselves? Was that Zora? I'll
I
go to
did.
you,
I
Zora,
saw
and then Supervillain.
So yes, Miss Lynn had her hand up for a second. So go ahead, Supervillain. Because I had got some questions, Trick, for you.
Oh, okay, cool. All right,
Now
we'll
we
go
got to
down here
talk
to Miss
real talk real
Supervillain
quick.
first. Okay, cool. Well, then we'll go to Supervillain first, and I'll get you, Zora. Go ahead, Supervillain.
Thank you. First, I do think monogamy can be healthy. I like what you said, Trick, earlier about people shaming people for their relationship choices. At this point in time in 2025, whatever the relationship is, as long as it's something that is consensual and doesn't harm children, right? I'm not talking about dating underage or marrying underage girls. It's fine. Like at this point, um, like the guy said, polygamy, monogamy, shoot, wanting to be with yourself. That's the kind of relationship I am in. I'm dating myself. Whatever floats your boat is good for you. Relationships aren't a one size fits all thing, and different people do different things to make it work. I don't like the shaming. I'm starting to see a lot of that. I'm going to say, because my boo is on the panel, if I know anything, I know you can decenter men or not center men and be in a relationship. I talk to a woman almost every day who does that. Her name is T Scorpio. And if she is not the example of decentering men and still being in a relationship, I don't know what is. Also want to point out how men can be misogynists and be in marriages and have daughters, but why don't think people think you can be a misandrist and still have a husband and still have a son? Like those two things are also equally possible. So I just want to throw that out there. But when it comes to monogamy, it can be healthy. It's not healthy when you want your partner to be monogamous and you want to be polygamous. I never got that part. If you want to date a bunch of people, why would you be mad if your partner wanted to date a bunch of people? But if you can't be monogamous, then don't be in a relationship with a person who wants one person. Date a person who also wants to be in a polygamous relationship. I think that's when it becomes unhealthy. So I yield there.
All right. I got you, super villain. Oh, I saw your comment. Naturally, you said, "Does this mean not catering to him?" Hey, naturally, if you want to get in a box or type it up, tell me what you mean by catering to. Okay. Zora. So you said you had some questions. Oh, and I can't forget about PG 1908 after I talk to you, Zora. Then I'll go down here to PG 1908.
PG effed them up, by the way, if anybody's following the conversation. I'm trolling to a degree, but when she asked that question, I interrupted his little thing, and he literally said, no, she can't, not if she's my woman, and then changed his answer, like Supervillain said. Depending on, he was trying to read the room, which is why they always start with the asking question to see what you're gonna say, so they can figure out how to. It's sad.
That's why I did it. I wanted to knock him off his square because
you
he was trying to rage bait, and I troll too well. I dominate troll spaces, so I was like, he trying to troll, so let me mess him up because he wants somebody to respond to him aggressively and be mad. So I was like, let me just mess him up real quick because this is what I do.
We gave him that 1-2, that real good, and Trick came in with with our follow up by dropping him after he was trying to do that. I had a question. And this, since it's after dark, that's why I'm in my little mood, y'all. By the way, y'all get me. Since Trigger after dark, I'm in my after dark mood too. And you said that someone was saying something about decentering while marriage. Can you run that down for us? Like, who was talking? Who are these people?
Oh shoot, I can't even remember who they were because I don't know who they are. Like I never seen their lives before that day. I did click on a few of them. They did follow me, but I don't know their names. I can't remember. But yeah, they were the only person I remember that was in there that was talking was T Scorpio was in a box, and I think another woman that is a mutual of mine. I think her name is Sovereign Woman. She was in the chat, and I went on her live that she had this afternoon because she was talking about it because I guess some of the stuff they said kind of blew her, and they were just saying like there's just no way like for you to be in a relationship with a man and not you can't decenter a man and be in a relationship because the man is going to be taking something from you, and it's you're going to be giving so much, he's not going to be giving anything to you, and stuff like that. And that was just like, I don't know, I'm trying to censor myself, but I thought that was like a little strange, you know what I'm saying? Because
Really? Okay.
yeah. And I think it's strange for many reasons. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is T Scorpio, she in the comments, she said they get their point. I get their point to a degree, but I get their point only because I know how it feels to have experienced something traumatic and only have seen that. And that's the place that you're working from. So you can't conceptualize that there's anything different, or if you've done things a certain way in relationships and that's how you've done it and that's all you know, then you can't understand that there are other people out there that aren't like you, because normally what you're around, your existence creates your reality, and then that is your perception of other people. You automatically think that they're doing things the way you're doing because that's how you do things. You know what I'm saying? So I think that a lot of some of those things are projection, and just to simply put it like that, but yeah, um but I, like I said, Zora, I didn't really know the people that were up there, but I did listen a little bit. But yeah, you
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
I heard a little bit about it, but yeah, I don't. I think, yeah.
Because I mean, it's like, to me, it's like what I want to know exactly what people think is going on in the majority of relationships. Now, I'm not saying that it's not some women out here wilding and you know what I'm saying, doing some crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying, some Tyler Perry BS. I'm not saying that that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that is the case, but But just like there is a yin, there's a yang. Just like there's a good, there's a bad. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is there's an opposite to whatever is happening. So just like people say, oh, well, I know these women that aren't able to do this. I know these women are doing this, that, and the third. If you agree in the opposites of everything of life, then you got to know that there are people that are not doing that. There are people that are living a different way. And so, and then if you've never experienced it and you've never seen it, then who are you to say that it doesn't exist? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like being completely uneducated about a particular topic and you go and tell someone that, oh, well, I know this to be absolutely true when you don't even know anything about the topic that's being discussed. So I just find it to be weird to make sweeping generalizations about something that you can never know about. But once again, I do feel like a lot of times it is projection and trauma. So, and what shapes people's existence is what they are experiencing currently. So if you've only experienced chaos and respectfully, not trying to use bad words, but fuckery and a whole bunch of craziness with dudes and stuff like that, and that's all you've ever seen, of course this other woman pop up and say, hey, you know what? I ain't living like that, sis. Of course, you're not going to be able to even wrap your mind around that because it's not something that you've seen. But I do think that it's kind of bogus to push that off onto other women because that's just like me. I'm not single. I'm not childless. Right? It's black women that come in the live panel all the time and say, I enjoy being single. I enjoy being childless. I enjoy laying in my bed by myself and just having my house clean and just being able to keep my pH balanced to myself and all of this other stuff. And they say that, and I believe them. That's not my reality, but I still believe it. But once again, I don't think there are a lot of people open-minded and progressive enough to realize that their reality is not necessarily everybody else's. So I can take that and women say those things to me and be like, okay. Or I can take a queer woman saying, hey, I don't like niggas at all. I don't want nothing to do with men. I'm completely satisfied with another woman. And I can accept that and believe that to be wholeheartedly that woman is telling the truth. That's me though. But another woman, you could tell her, hey, you know what? I like this way of living. And she's, oh, I can't believe that. You're not happy. You're not, you know what I'm saying? Because some people I don't feel like are open-minded enough to accept other realities. And that's also a problem amongst black women, in my opinion. But I do think that I don't want to call black women trauma filled or anything, but I do think that it's hard to live this life as a black woman. And I do think that our pain that we feel and the things that we go through manifest in different ways. Like with black men, it manifests as being aggressive and felonious and treacherous and treasonous and disrespectful and ignorant and coonerific. But I feel like the way black women act out from the things that they feel are way more insidious. And it's not as easy to pinpoint as it is with black men, unfortunately. So it's able to go under the radar. If that makes any sense, y'all, like, I don't know.
It does. But to someone else's questions earlier, I think qualifying what centering even means, or at least in the context when people say it, I think is important because I think people equate centering to basically 4B. And it's like, well, yeah, if you look at centering as 4B, then obviously zero interaction would be how you're decentering. However, the way I look at it is like compartmentalization. So you have something in the center and you have other different, other things outside, but it's all within this circle, right? And to me, you're supposed to keep yourself in the center, everything else to the extent you enjoy it. And you can be in a relationship and still center yourself and enjoy the people you're around, enjoy your partner, enjoy your friends, enjoy your family. But for some reason, with being in a relationship, I don't see how you can look at all of the different relationships that you're in and say that everyone else is centered because you're in a relationship with them. Like, you have a friendship. Being in a friendship doesn't mean that you're centering your friends just because you're in that relationship. So I think it can apply the same to a romantic partnership. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're centering your romantic partnership because you are in that relationship. So that doesn't really, to me, it doesn't really align. But I think if they're coming from a perspective of 4B, then yeah, you wouldn't basically be able to be in any interaction, really, or romantically, and not center men. So
I gotta correct the 4B thing real quick. Trig, please. As somebody who is 4B, 4B is more about women having their autonomy. Not having a relationship is part of it, of course, but it's more about women living sans the interference of men. And oftentimes it's like decentering is conflated with 4B, but decentering also means outside of romantic relationship, right? There are women who think men are better at doing things. That has nothing to do with romantic relationship. You still need to decenter men. There are women who believe men should rule, women shouldn't have like the right to vote. That doesn't have anything to do with romantic relationship. You still need to decenter men when you're like that. So I just want I know a lot of the time this relationship and it's, I guess, to number two, but when we say decenter men, which I don't even like to say decenter men, I say recenter women because decentering means men are still in the center and haven't been pulled out versus when you say center women and men are no longer in the program, in the room, not even in the sentence, but it's further than romantic relationship, right? It could be your workplace. It could be your relationship with men, period. Your father, your brothers, elevating men over the goodness or in response to elevating women. So I just wanted to make that. And with 4B, please, as somebody I've been 4B before 4B was a thing, actually. 4B is not a punishment to men. It's not about making men better or changing men's behavior. It's about women operating outside the interference of men as much as possible. That is what 4B is about. I just need to make that correction. Thank you.
All right, I got you, super villain. PG 1908. Did you have anything to say, sis?
Everybody pretty much said what wanted to say, but I'll just say this to sum it all up for me. Monogamy is healthy when it's both sided. When you're getting monogamy and you're giving monogamy, that's when it's healthy. Just like with food, anything that's healthy is going to be good for you. Anything that's not healthy is not going to be good for you. So if you're the only one who's in a monogamous relation, or you're the only one practicing monogamy in a relationship, that's unhealthy. That's my point.
Right, I got you, PG 1908. Zora, you had something to say?
Yeah, I was multitasking. I'm having to go, get in that vehicle to go someplace. So we already know that I can't be up here because of all the stuff around that. But I just wanted to say something before I had to drop down. Even though I want to get into number 3, so I might have to come back if y'all still here.
Yes, please do.
Oh my God. I think it is about more probability for me than like potentiality. So it's not like that it can't exist. Not just monogamy being healthy or decentering men while with the men. I do think that there is something to the nature of men. And if it's not nature, the nurture of men. I'll say the shape of men. That the idea is kind of like asking, can you be a mother and decenter kids? To me, it's very strong. I know that's probably not an argument that people would like because they'll go all kind of places of things I'm not saying, but I'm just saying it's like that. It's like we know that generally speaking, women pour more into men than men pour into them. Period. That's just how it goes in a patriarchy specifically. We can talk about why, all that, but that is the shape of relationships. That's the normal shape, or these statistics won't look like the way they do. Can you do something outside of that? That might be a question, and maybe, but the shape itself lends itself to inequity. Just like a job, generally speaking, the employee is least likely to be taking advantage of the boss. If y'all following that, I like that one better than the children one. So in a job situation, yes. Can it be equal? Yes. Is it normally? No. That's how I think about monogamy being healthy. Now, I didn't know if you wanted to get into the centering married conversation, Trig, or if you were just sharing your.
Yeah, you can go ahead. It's totally up to you.
Okay, because I'm thinking like it's not to me as simple. This one I want to start. First thing, the thing I agree with you with was Black women specifically, because that's what we know, but probably human beings, but definitely Black women having an issue with, I call it black and white thinking, but I think you called it kind of like, I forget how you said it, but basically being open-minded, like kind of beyond the binary, the norm. Oh, it has to be this or it has to be that. It's almost like a tribalism. Like if I'm in this group, then I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying, argue it down. And I get it, because there's some benefits that come from standing on a square. In that situation where you're saying there was two camps of women, one who was just like, oh no, you can't be married and decent, and the other one that's like, I definitely lean to something that I've heard before. I know Coach T has run it down. I've heard, I think PG said it. Association with men is a slippery slope. That's how she puts it directly. So it's like, okay, so we know. I struggle because I think it is. This is what I'm trying to say to you specifically, Trig. Like, there's spaces to have progressive conversations where people can kind of put down their allegiances to talking points. That's what I want to say. Talking points in camps, where we can kind of be like, okay, no, this is an intellectual thing about kind of going as far as we can with each other without having to stand on a square, even if it's no longer common sense. Are you getting what I'm saying?
I mean, are you saying that it's just like some people are just dedicated to just saying a certain thing without ever changing from it?
Yep. So for me, even though I know that the shape of monogamy often leads itself to being being taken advantage of, because you're usually, when you're talking about monogamy, you're going to go straight into that house at some point, which is marriage, which is your own personal bandit. That's just the way I talk, but your own personal male. That male underneath capitalism, specifically in the West, is taught that he gets a kingdom while somebody gets to dominate him on the outside. That's what's taught, said and unsaid. So to deal with somebody's socialization from that point of view, it's like, yeah, you might find somebody who's been working on their socialization, or you help them. Usually the woman helps them desocialize from that kind of mess. But that's a job in itself. Or am I making that up from your point of view as a married person?
I mean, well, I don't know. Like I said, I struggle with what to say on here, because I don't be feeling like people believe me. I didn't have people like say things to me like on the back end, and it's just like, okay, I don't know where you got that from. So, but if you want me to be
Okay.
completely candid, I can be completely honest. No, I've never had to do any of those things. I've never had like no submission conversations. No, this is people dominate me on the outside, so I'm gonna come here and this gonna be my house here, and I'm gonna tell you what to do, and I'm gonna lead over you, and I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. I've never had any of those conversations with them ever. Like, he's never been
No,
like
no,
that.
no.
Like, you know
I
what I'm
don't mean
saying?
that. No, no, no. Okay,
What do
those
you
are
mean?
two different things. No, no, no.
Oh,
Okay, so
okay.
one is that they're socialized away, but I'm saying not those conversations, but more like having to divide labor, or the things that people don't think about generally, like what it takes to take care of children, like just kind of automatic things that women are expected to do, having to kind of sometimes.
And I mean, even with that, I think I've already said my husband was raised by his mother, a single mother. So, he was already told that he's supposed to cook his own food. He's supposed to clean up. He's supposed to do all of these things. So it was never a situation of like that, with him specifically. Now, I will say this, of course, like when I was single and dating, of course, I've encountered men like that. And I didn't talk to those men. Like, we didn't have any more dealings with each other. I remember it was a guy I went on several dates with. Like, he played basketball overseas. I really liked him. He came from a good family. He was attractive. Everything was cool with him. Like, he was like really respectful, college educated, all of that. And we were having a conversation. This is like when we were thinking about like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what we're going to do, like if we're going to be locked in or whatever. And I think I've told this story before too. This man told me that the way a woman is supposed to keep herself a certain type of way in a marriage. And if something happens to the marriage in the woman in the marriage, and she doesn't look like, or she doesn't present like she was when they first came in, like if she got in a car accident and got jacked up, or she was paralyzed, or she got burnt up, whatever the case may be, if you don't look like how you were when you came in, he wasn't gonna stick around. And I remember when he told me that, and he told me that like it was nothing. And like I said, keep in mind, like this guy, respectfully, is like, if anybody saw him, they'd be like, oh my gosh, this guy, he's 6'8", he plays basketball, he comes from a good family, he got some money, he's educated, like he's a nice guy, very respectful gentleman, all of that. He never did anything bogus to me. But when he was talking like that, I was completely turned off. Like, ugh, like, why would you say that? And I didn't even, and the crazy thing is that I didn't even tell him. Like, I didn't even tell him, like, okay, that was crazy what you said to me, and that's nuts. I just ghosted him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's crazy. So I'll say I definitely have interacted with men that I feel like I would have had to do all of those things that you mentioned, that labor and that extra stuff. But I just personally didn't stick around because my first marriage was so horrific that I was like the red flag detector. So anything that I saw that looked like you would even potentially be on some BS, or you potentially had any harmful ideologies or thought processes about women or about marriage or about anything, I was gonna be gone. I'm out. All right,
They're
I'm
out.
dipping. I'm dipping, baby. I'm gone.
Not
Okay.
Ghostbusters.
But
Okay, so this is what I
yeah.
wanted to say to that. This is the point, and I think it kind of ties into supervillain's point. And then I know it's new people on the stage. You know what it is? It's that his mother. I hate to say it like this, that he didn't have anything to do with it, your husband, because I don't know, right? And I wouldn't say that completely, but that his mother required a different standard for him. So there's a woman right there who's setting the standard for him. Generally speaking, men don't have the EQ, right, or the idea about labor because they're not required to. One, but two, that the fact that it was his mother who poured that into him or made that standard. It's still a woman. It's still a woman. So it's like almost getting, I feel like, and this may be controversial, but I do feel this way, that men's work, and it's something that I've heard a friend of mine say, men's work, how they show up, is the result of the women in their life. So I think Supervillain said a comment, and I probably should scroll up so I don't get it wrong. She said some women make their marriages advantageous. Oh, advantageous for them, but proximity to women is always a W for men. That's what I think the conversation is for me when it comes to being married and decentering. That generally speaking, even your husband knowing about the labor and childcare and what's required of him and having emotional EQ, his mother is in some ways responsible for that. That's what I'm saying. So that's a woman. So it's like you're still. I've seen. I don't know if this is true. Now this is where I get out of the business because I'm not sure. This is not get. I'm gonna get out of straight people's business, but I'm not sure. But I've heard women say that their boyfriends or their husbands. I've had conversations with Coach T and other women about their. I remember I had a best friend. She said that her, like, once you get through with the man, a lot of times he takes that work that you've done with him to somebody else. That's what I'm trying to say. Somebody will have to prove me wrong on that. Whether the person's romantically linked to you or not. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, well, I don't know. I can't necessarily speak on that. All I can say is that my current husband, he was already, where he needed to be at when we got together. But I guess I would say that it makes sense of what you're saying about like um women probably instilling in men like that when they're raising sons, that those sons that they're sending out in the world, they don't want them to be a burden to another woman. So they're telling them what and what not to do. But I don't know. I've never really had any, to be honest with you, any deep conversations about exactly, the what was deeply instilled in him, on behalf of his mom, because it was never really, it was never really anything for me to think about, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? But maybe if there was some type of problems or something, I probably would have. What's wrong with this? Why you? You know what I'm saying? But
Not you taking her work and being like, you know what? No notes.
I'm just trying to be funny, y'all. But y'all get what I'm saying.
Tell him, Trig. Tell him it's laughter up in here. But now he's taking to the YouTube now. Like
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
jokes, people, jokes. But okay.
But yeah, I mean, and I also understand what you're saying too about in a relationship the woman is gonna be given something. But I do believe that in a marriage a woman is giving something, pouring something into the man. I do believe that. And I do believe that that happens. But I do think that if you find the right person, what you're giving will be replenished back to you in some way from your partner. And I only say that because like I said, my first husband, I was definitely doing the pouring and none of the replenishment was coming my direction. And the way that feels, that type of like energy vampiring and thing like that right there is something I feel like once you have experienced it, you know exactly what that is. And even if it doesn't happen on Like, cause I really feel like with different men that different men that are energy vampires, some may take more, some may take less, some may take in between, but I still feel like you feel it. And you feel like this isn't something that I should be enduring, even though I do believe a lot of black women still endure it, if especially if it's not in something that I should be enduring, even though I do believe a lot of black women still endure it, if especially if it's not as big a drain as coming from some men. So I do think you can feel that. And I've never felt that personally in my current marriage or whatever, but I do believe that it does happen to a lot of women, even women that think that they're in good relationships or whatnot, that type of draining. But I do feel like if you feel that way, this is just me, I'm not trying to down nobody's relationship, but I do feel like if you feel like that in any way, I don't feel like that's your person. If you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm giving to this man, he's draining me, or yeah, this is an energy exchange, and that he's taking and look at me doing all of this stuff, and oh wow, like I feel like if you feel that way, you need to go on and do like Usher did, sign them papers. That's how I feel. Like that's not somebody I feel like you should be with, because if y'all are really connected, like that, the energy exchange will be mutual, like, and it won't be draining. It won't feel that type of way. Y'all will be pouring into each other. But that's what I think, though. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak on nobody else's relationships and nothing like that, but I just feel like, me personally, because I had such a bad situation going in out the gate, like I'm just extremely sensitive to things like that. And anything that I felt that would feel any way, shape, or form akin to any of those type of emotions, I'm jetting. I'm not being there. I'm not being there. And that's why I be like, ladies be saying stuff like, oh, like one lady told me, oh, I can't trust you, Triggered. Like, you married, you're an op. I can't trust you. I don't know what you be on. Like, well, if you really knew me, you would know I don't be on nothing you talk about, because I'm not letting nobody play in my face ever in life. No one. Like, and if I find out, I'm gone. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't know. I
They
don't
don't see
know.
how you do with the mammies on here. They don't see how you give.
Girl, I be getting it from everybody. Like, I be getting it from people that they would say they're the pick-me's, the mammies. I be getting it from the women that say that they are completely, not dealing with men at
Misandrist.
all. I get it from the women in between. Like, I didn't have people dog me out from all sides, and it's just like, oh, okay. Well, all right. But I just let it roll off, because at the end of the day, people don't know, like, what's going on with me personally, that they can just make assumptions. But I try to tell people, but like I said, I don't know if people believe me, because like I said, the things that I say are not really typical of what goes on. And I
Yes.
know that, and I know that to be the case, and I know that it's not typical. I say this every day in my real life, like this. I know that this is unusual, but
Mm-hmm.
all I can say is just believe me or don't. Hey, I
So
can't help
you
you.
so you see yourself, okay, so you don't see yourself as the norm. That was my next
No,
question.
no,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
Okay,
I
okay.
don't. I don't. I don't. I mean, my
Yeah.
mother was married to my father. My grandmother was married to my grandfather. My grandmother on the other side was married to my grandfather. I've seen nothing but married people. Like in my cult, in my congregation that I was at, I saw nothing but married people. I saw my mom's best friend who was married. I saw all of these married women. So I know I've seen marriage up close and in person. And I think that a lot of the things that women say do have merit, and that there are a lot of things that stuff is going on. I would
Mm-hmm.
never deny and say that that's not happening. All I ever say when I argue this particular point is to say it ain't me, and I wouldn't do it. All right, that's all I ever say. That's all I ever say. Like, I just try to be funny, but like for real, that's all I ever say is that it's not me. I would never do it. I would never do it, because I'm not never being played with like I was played with in my first marriage ever again.
Mm-hmm.
So I just particularly won't do it. And if it ain't right, if it's not on the level that it needs to be for me, I'm not going to be around. Like, I'm gone. Like, and it's really just that simple, because like I'm an only child. Like, I didn't have any brothers and
Mm.
sisters. I don't have any brothers and sisters. I don't talk to any of my family, except like my husband and my kids. And I am more than comfortable being alone. Like I spent most of my life alone. You know what I'm saying? Before I got married the second time. So even my first marriage, I was alone then. That nigga was always gone. You know what I'm saying? So that's not something that's going to, oh my gosh, you're going to be alone. I can't exist. I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, Amazon sells roses. You know what I'm saying? That'll get me
What is
by.
that, True? I've never
That'll
heard of
get
that.
me by. You know what I'm saying? A
What's a
good bullet
flower
will get
like
me
that?
to it. Uh,
What's a rose?
or I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Let me stop.
Not
I'm
after
really
dark.
doing
You
too
don't
much,
post
y'all.
these. There's no way.
I'm doing
Not
too
because
much. All right, let me just keep going. See, Zora, you got me doing too much. All right.
me. Y'all, I'm gonna catch y'all. Let me go to the store real quick and not
Okay.
do that dangerous stuff that lady got caught up in doing. You know
Okay.
what? Taking out a white tea man, maybe. I'm joking. Jokes, people.
Man, you know what? You gotta talk about her. You know, they doxing people for talking about that lady, which is crazy.
Really? I take
Yes.
it back. I mean nothing by it. I was not even here.
Ridiculous.
Coach T says tap the screen, y'all. Tap the screen. We should be at a higher thing. Let's get to 20K. And I'm gonna be listening in.
All right. I got you, sis. All right, let me go up here to Miss T and then Miss Gabrielle. Go ahead, Miss T. If you're there, if you have something to say. I know I took a long time. Okay, then I'll go up here. Oh, you said skip you. Okay. I'll go to Miss Gabrielle. Go ahead, Gabrielle.
Yeah, thank you and good evening. I definitely wanted to weigh in on number two, especially because I actually do think monogamy can be healthy, but I think it comes down to the partnership, the loyalty between the two people, and I also think love is a huge part of it. But that aside, I also think shared values are a really big thing. Like I've personally talked to people in relationships who have said that they don't even talk to their partners about things like religion or politics. They say it's just too difficult. And I just feel like in relationships, if there is a values mismatch, whether it's religion, politics, whether or not you want to have kids, like the future you envision, how you look at life, like if those things aren't aligned, then I think that trying to force monogamy under those circumstances can be unhealthy and can lead to problems. But I don't think monogamy in and of itself is you know unhealthy. I definitely wouldn't go that far, but I just think in a lot of relationships, just from like people I've talked to and some stuff that I've read online, it seems like a lot of people settle into relationships, or it seems like a lot of people, they meet someone and then they get married because I don't know, like their friend group is getting married, or they think they're just supposed to do it. Like the foundation is not strong, and then monogamy gets the blame instead of the quality of the partnership. So I definitely I definitely do think monogamy can be healthy. Like host, you said you're happily married. So, I mean, I think that it really is going to depend on the two people and the foundation of the relationship.
All right. I got you, Gabrielle. Let me see here. T, did you have anything to say yet, or are you still busy? Okay. I think she might still be busy. All right, you guys. Well, let's see here. I think also we were talking about uh well, we were talking about the marriage thing. We were going to talk about partnership. We were talking about monogamy. Can I ask you guys something? Do you when you talk about like monogamy and polygamy and things like that, like what is, if you guys were in a relationship, even the women that aren't in a relationship, if you were in a relationship, what would you prefer? Would you prefer monogamy? Would you prefer polygamy? Would you prefer like, I guess sharing like the main person that you're with different people, or would you prefer monogamy? And I noticed, and I forgot to say this, that I think the lady was saying something about like jealousy and stuff like that, that like that's not normal and things like that. And I just really want to say this. I don't know if people have ever talked about this, but I do believe that jealousy to a point is normal. I know that I see animals get jealous. I know, I'm not trying to reduce us to animals, but I will say I have a dog, right? I have a schnoodle, a mini schnoodle. She's like 7-8 pounds. She is extremely jealous. If I hug one of my daughters or kiss them, my dog, she be looking like, what the fuck is you doing? I am the only baby up in here. What are you doing? Did she come around, hopping around, trying to get picked up and stuff like that? So, and I've seen many jealous dogs, and I think that if anybody likes ever goes on the dog side of TikTok or Instagram, and you see dogs that actually display jealous actions, and it's not no game, it's not projection, like it's actually jealousy. I don't know. I feel like jealousy may be demonized too much in certain positions where you may feel possessive over someone. And I don't just mean in a romantic partnership either. I mean, even like, a friendship, and even in a parental situation, like maybe like if your daughter, you had took your daughter to daycare or something like that, and she seemed to like really be deeply connected to like one of the workers there, and it seemed like, she wasn't like needing you as much or something like that. Y'all know what I'm saying? Do y'all think that that's true? Or like what are you guys' thoughts on that? Or do you, and also, do you think that's unhealthy? I'm not here to say whether it's unhealthy or healthy, so you guys can
So
judge.
what piece is unhealthy?
Well, I'm not saying it's unhealthy or healthy. I was just saying, I was wondering, do you guys think that like any type of jealousy is like, do you think it's all unhealthy, or do you,
Oh, in the
yeah.
context of like within a relationship having
It could
jealousy.
be, a relationship, it could be a friendship, anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be a partnership or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I think well, I tend not to demonize any emotion, really. I feel like we have it for a reason. When it's appropriate for it to come out, whether or not you allow yourself to feel that, I think it's gonna, vary person to person. But I don't really demonize the emotion itself. I think we all pretty much, it's an emotion that a lot of people hate as well as envy. But we have it though. So how are we supposed to use it? I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I don't think it's unhealthy just in and of itself. But I think it can be applied, in a negative way, if that makes sense.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you.
Mhm.
Let me see. Oh, T, you said you're back. Okay, go ahead, T.
My bad. Yeah, what I was gonna I could comment on this real quick about the jealousy thing. Is jealousy healthy? Like, did you basically? All right, hold on. Did you say is jealousy healthy or can be jealous or something like that? What did you say?
Or I don't know if I necessarily want to put a healthy or unhealthy on it. I just maybe like, because you see it in like animals and things like that, do you think that it's normal? Because I know people oftentimes demonize jealousy specifically, you know?
Oh, well, jealousy can lead to doing things that is unhealthy. I mean, it can cause a dangerous environment. I would say is long is if it keeps increasing because it's the little things. At first, you start off a little bitty jealous, and then it can turn into something ugly. Because I mean, like you said, you don't have to be in a relationship, but I'm gonna give an anecdotal example, like being with a dude that was jealous. It's annoying. It's annoying. It's annoying that somebody is consistent, consistently jealous of of a bunch of things, and they get to become a negative Nancy. They will never see the positive in what you do in a relationship with somebody else, and you don't even have to be sexual. It could be just that you giving somebody else your time and everything. I don't know. It can grow into being unhealthy. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think. In my opinion, not my opinion, my experience. Like, have I ever been jealous? I would say no. I never exactly experienced jealousy as far as I know consciously. Do I
What
have I ever
about
consciously
possessiveness,
been jealous?
T?
Oh
What
yeah, absolutely. You shit. That's every man. Literally every man is possessive. I would say with that part. Every man is possessive. Even a decent man is possessive because the idea that he wants you to himself. That's in a man's nature. Men are naturally possessive. And that can be healthy, and also it can be unhealthy depending on the mindset of the man. If the man is an unhealthy minded man, being possessiveness can be dangerous. But if he's healthy minded, no, his type of being possessiveness won't be a threat to you. You know, it's just the idea he just wants you to himself. Like for instance, my husband, when he's home, he prefers to me not to be on TikTok. When I'm with him, he does not want me to be on TikTok. He don't mind me typing. He don't mind me go like even scrolling, but being live like this, he prefers not to, and that was a request of his, and and I willfully grant that for him because he usually don't ask me of anything. He barely asks me of anything. So when he said, when we on TikTok, when I'm with you, I want to be with you. I want to get your shit talking. I want to get your joy. I want to get the laughters. I want you. And you be on TikTok. I prefer for it to be just me and you. That's a simple request in my opinion, and I don't mind. You know what? I'll let you have that. That's no problem. You know. But if he was on some, you're not gonna be on TikTok because I'm here. Whoa, absolutely the F not. I wouldn't even marry a man with that type of mindset. But I don't think possessiveness is anything wrong. Like I said, it depends on the mindset of the man.
I had to unmute myself. I'm sorry about that. All right, I got you. I got you, T. All right, let me go up here to Miss Queen. Go ahead, Miss Queen of Hacks.
Hey, Trigger. Okay, so
Hey.
I wanted to comment on your jealousy question too. I hate to call it jealousy because jealousy, like you said, has been so demonized, but I definitely think it's more of a primitive instinct that we have, and I think it's a survival instinct because even children, from my own children to my grandchildren, when they see you like pick up another baby or something, they look real strange, and then they'll try to come between you. I think it's in an effort to survive. Like you said, every group, every species does it. Even in the animal kingdom, you have the males that kind of spar, I guess that's what they call it, when it's mating season, so that they can, win over the female animal, whatever animal it is, a deer, whatever, so that they can mate with them to be able to keep their lineage going or to be able to reproduce. And I think it's the same thing even in relationships. What I believe has happened is that people they're not dating like for a purpose anymore or getting into purposeful relationships so that they can create like strong families because they see something that they want to pass on to maybe their children. Sorry, I have to cough. Give me 1 second. But people have become so superficial they're dating for all the wrong reasons, which is why we see these relationships and things like this falling apart so often. And so there is no real connection. There's no real desire to kind of hold on to the person. So they look at the jealousy in a very negative way.
Okay, I got you. Like I said, I think that all of the things that you guys said could have some merit because, like I said, I do see it, and I don't know if I maybe I conflated jealousy with possession, or maybe possession and jealousy could be under the same umbrella. But y'all get what I'm saying. I just see that, and I think I've seen that in every facet of life, and that being registered in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Let's see. Okay, Gabrielle wanted to say something, so I'll go to Gabrielle, and then I'll go to Supervillain.
Yeah, so I definitely did want to answer your questions about I think jealousy, possession, and then monogamy versus polygamy. So to start with jealousy, I feel like jealousy it's not inherently bad, I would say, but I would say it's kind of a yellow flag. So I feel like jealousy is, to me, like a negative emotion. Like it usually doesn't stem from something positive or from like a positive experience or witnessing something positive. So I guess my question would be, when it comes to jealousy, like I would just say, like, what would the source of that jealousy be, and then what would the solution be to, fixing it? Because I think if jealousy gets too deep seated, then it can, become really toxic and dangerous. So that's why I'm kind of on the fence with jealousy. But when it comes to possession, I do think, to me, just in my personal opinion, I do think possessiveness, especially in a partnership, is a red flag, because I feel like it shows a certain level of disregard for that person's autonomy. I feel like like even the word possession, like possessions are typically defined as things that you own. So the whole possessive thing, to me, that is definitely a red flag. I don't think that that's healthy at all. I think there is a little bit more leeway with jealousy, but I feel like with possessiveness, it's definitely a red flag. And then I think, did you ask, was the other question about like monogamy versus polygamy, or?
Yeah, I think I just asked what people, like, if they had, like, if they were going to be in a relationship, like, what they would prefer. Would they prefer monogamy or polygamy?
Okay, yeah. So for me, I would definitely prefer monogamy. That's just, for me, what I would be most aligned with. I would say the only way I would ever consider polygamy is like if I could be the one to have two boyfriends. Like I would not be sharing a guy I was dating with another woman, because it's like, why would I do that? Like, what reason would there be for that? But I mean, I would definitely like lean like 99% to monogamy for sure.
Oh, shoot. I was trying to unmute myself. It was stuck. All right, I got you, Gabrielle. All right, let me go down here to Miss Supervillain. Go ahead, Supervillain.
Thank you, Trig. As to the emotion of jealousy, I'm gonna say in relationships and just in general, I think the reaction or the reactive behavior depends on if it's healthy or not. Like you can be jealous and say you're on a track team and someone's going for your number one spot. When you're number one, you get comfortable, but when you see someone trying to come for your spot, it causes that, like, that competitiveness. So I think that could be healthy because it doesn't keep you complacent. Just because you're number one doesn't mean you're going to stay there. Also, if it turns into something like, I just watched this movie. I forgot what it was. When the ice skater mom broke the other ice skater legs, like that competitiveness can be very crazy where you're harming the other person. So when the jealousy becomes to that stage, of course, obviously it's not healthy. But I think like in a competitive way, it can be healthy. Even in a relationship, maybe your partner has a new hobby and they made a new friend, and that jealousness causes you to change your behavior. Maybe you're doing the new hobby with your partner now, where you wouldn't have been so interested if they didn't have that new friend, and now you have something that you're doing with your partner that you're participating in, and you both find it fun, right? That could be healthy versus wanting to break that partner's leg or the partner's friend's leg because you're jealous that the partner is spending time with somebody else. So it really depends to me on your reaction to the jealousy. Now, when it comes to relationships, if I were dating, prefer a monogamous relationship. I've already said if I ever were to get married, it would be to a older white teen man with a lot of money, obviously ED and memory loss, because that's the only thing I can really tolerate at this time. But even if, just jokes aside, it really depends to me, relationships, on your personality trait. I've often said, like, I do go around and say I hate men. I actually do. But I think even if I were a lesbian, I'd probably still be single. It's my personality trait. Like, I don't like considering someone else when I'm making decisions. I was never a team player, like even growing up, like in the projects and sports and stuff like that. So it really depends on your personality trait. If I did have a relationship, I mean, I'm peculiar, Trig. My partner would have to understand that I would want to sleep in separate beds. Like they'd have to want to do things like watch The Walking Dead 100 million times in a row. Like I'm just very particular, so that's why I knew being single was probably gonna be for me, because I'd have to have a curated human being for me to be with somebody and be happy for real, like with them. So I don't know. I really think it depends on your personality trait, and I think people should really start dating for their personality trait, not on like tradition. So I think I'm gonna yield there.
All right, I got you. I got you. Yeah. I mean, I definitely think when it comes to like relationships and stuff like that, I think a lot of times women, especially black women, date men for just because they don't want to be alone or single, or they're tired of the way society views them not being partnered up. And I think that that type of thought process ends up getting you linked up with people that are not for you, that are not matching your personality and stuff like that, like you were mentioning. That's what I think. I mean, I'm not saying that every black woman is doing that, but I do think that it happens a lot. And I think it's a setup because, black women are so devalued and stuff like that. And a lot of times, because I've seen people do it to me. It's like almost people will ask you, like, are you partnered up? Are you with someone? Just so that they can see if they're going to give you respect or dismiss your thought processes, or call you a certain type of, oh, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. And I think that some women don't want to go through that, so they just make a quick choice. Because all of these story times on TikTok, like, I just refuse to believe that some of these women didn't make a quick decision. Like, how you ain't know that man had like two other wives, and he been cheating on you for the last, y'all been together 8 years, and he been cheating on you for 7 years and 364 days. Like, the 7 years and I'm like, yeah, I just feel like you just moving too quick. Like, it was a lady that was on here that said that she moved the man in her house after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks of knowing this man, and then she said yes, and after the third month, he started acting crazy, and I was like, who is this man? And I'm like, ma'am, you didn't know him from the beginning. What are you talking about? Like, what? Like, I just, yeah, I don't know. Never mind. I'm going off track. But let me see. PG 1908, did you have anything to say, sis? Or
No, I'm still just here, Five. Y'all go ahead.
oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, but like I said, and I'm so sad that Zora had to go to the store, because I did really, and I should have actually talked about that first with her when she was here, about black men, being the third gender and whatnot, because her thought process behind what she was saying, how she came to this conclusion, was unique, and I think it's worth a discussion to talk about it. Even if you like disagree or you agree, whatever the case may be, I do think that it'd just be interesting for y'all to hear her perspective. But I don't feel comfortable talking about it without her here, because she's the one that said it to me, so I wouldn't want to misrepresent anything that she was saying, you know what I mean, like anything that she, like, her thoughts on it. So I wouldn't want to misrepresent it or whatever. But I do think that it was an interesting topic. It was something that I hadn't really thought of like that. And I think that I had a live earlier today about domestic violence and black femicide, and black women protecting themselves from it, and also like why in the black community do we uplift abusers and things of that nature. And the sheer amount of black men that came up there to try to throw off all of it, to just be so proud to say how much they do not protect black women, nor do they care about black women. They're very dismissive of the things that go on, how they couldn't even accept the truth about stats and everything. Like, honestly, bro, like, that live was so disgusting. And like, I me, you guys, if anybody is in my lives and stuff like that and y'all hear me, I always try to stay in the middle of most things, like in the middle, because I see both sides, and I try to stay, in between. Now, there's certain things I take a hard line on, but most of the time I say that I'm open to hear everything in all perspectives. But to be honest with you, like, even on the topic of like black men, I still feel like, I don't believe that every single solitary black man is bad, right? But I do believe that there's a problem with the collective of black men, but the collective of men in general. But we're going to speak to black men at this particular time. But the live that I had, it's like, bro, like y'all make it hard for me to even be rational and say that 2% of y'all is okay. Because every time there's an opportunity for black men to show some type of humanity or compassion, the majority of them don't do it. And this just I don't know. I just find it like actually repulsive and disgusting. And I find it so crazy that when you talk about things that black women are really going through and really experiencing, there's such a lack of empathy coming from black men. And then there's also a lack of empathy coming from pick me black women as well, because literally a black woman got up on the live and said, a man has a right to hit a woman or unalive a woman if she say something that he don't like.
She was
Like,
African, by the way.
you said she was African?
Mm-hmm. You can't
Yeah.
remember?
And I remember her name too. It was excuse my beauty. Excuse my beauty 93. I blocked her though. And I was flabbergasted. I was flabbergasted that she would say something like that. And I knew that she was on that type of time, which is why I tried to pin down what she said. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, I know what you're trying to say, and I just need you to say it with your lips. That way we can really know the type of person that you are. Like, just a wicked, miserable woman. Like, honestly. Hey, Zora, I see that you driving. Just hit me on the back end so we can figure out what time will be good for you. And I'll schedule a live time to where we can go live about this particular topic alone, just stand alone. And then that way we can have a topic on it. I'll make sure that you're there. You could just tell me like when you want to do it. We can even do it tomorrow if you want. Just tell me like if you're, well, I don't want to be presumptuous. So if you are available at all tomorrow, just tell me the time of day that you're available, and then we can go live about it at that time about topic number 3. But yeah, like I said, that lady that was in the live, it was like really mind-boggling that she would say something like that. I honestly, I think Gabrielle was there too, and she used the term astounded at a lot of stuff that was going on. And honestly, that was a great adjective, because honestly, that's how I felt. Like, truthfully, because that was just nuts. Anyway, so I'm just saying like black men's behavior and stuff like that, about what Zora was saying as far as like the third gender and black men's unusual behavior, even compared to other men that are already problematic. But when you compare their behavior to other races collectively, it's even more disturbing in my opinion. And I would like to delve into what everyone's thoughts is on why that is. Like, because I'm sure like all of the black women that are here have different thoughts and opinions on what exactly that is. But yeah, it was downright embarrassing what I seen. But anyway, you guys, I'm gonna end the live now. But if anybody has anything to say before I get up out of here, and this was a great conversation. Hopefully I wasn't all over the place today, because I was just trying to be funny, to be honest, keep you guys entertained. But so I was being a little silly today, but hopefully you guys still enjoyed the live or whatever. But if any of you guys want to speak or whatnot before I get up out of here, y'all can. And if y'all don't, then that's okay. I'll just end the live. But if anybody has any final words or whatnot, y'all can throw it out there.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say just real quick as far as like the possessiveness and pertaining to a legal marriage. I guess everyone already understand my point of view on marriage. I'm looking on the legality point of view. I'm not looking at it so much of the emotional point of view. If you look at marriage for what it is on a legal point of view, it is kind of like a possession, because you are legally bound to somebody. You are legally you're legally connected to someone. No matter where you go, if you are legally married to someone in New York City and you go and live in Alaska, go to Bermuda, go to Aruba, no matter where you go, you are still legally connected to that person. So I look at that, especially what is for historically speaking, it is a form of possession, because like I always state that marriage was created by men for men to purchase women. That's what it is entirely. Have people have um put their emotions tied to it, and want to make it evolve into something different and in a modern term about love and all of this connection and all this other stuff, that's nice and all, but for what it is and what it stands for and why it was created, it had nothing to do with that. You know, and another how I know men are naturally possessive and marriage is a form of possession for a man is why do you have to marry a woman? Why? Because let's keep it a buck. If it's something about love, if it's about love, you don't need no legal paperwork. You don't need that. You don't need no piece of paper. But why do men like marriage? Because marriage is legally tying the woman to him and locking the woman down to him. That is what it is. That's what it was for, and that's what it is about, honestly speaking. So that's my point of view. That's not my point of view, but that's actually literally what marriage is. Now, can you make it work? And you and your own husband individually can make it into a partnership? Sure, yeah, you could. You absolutely can. But as you see, where it says traditionally, why did a woman have to take on the last name of the man? Because what he is saying is, you are my property. That's what I mean. Let's just put our emotions to the side and look at what it is historically.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. And I think that the only problem that I have with that is that I understand what you're saying about the historical context of marriage and stuff like that. But we know a lot of times in life and in even with different institutions and different systems that have been put in place that they evolve and they change into something different. And I do know that in certain countries still marriage is like that. But all I can do is speak for me and say that, you know, that's not the way I look at marriage. I know that's not the way my husband looks at marriage. I'm nobody's property. Nobody owns me. I don't own him. This isn't a business deal, you know what I'm saying? Or a situation where I'm with him to get the bag or something like that, or he's with me to get the bag. It's just a situation of two people that ran across each other that had like a deep connection, you know, not to sound cheesy or anything like that, but I was like, whoa, I never met a type of man like this before. Like, he's like lightweight, like awesome. Like, he's an amazing person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never met male or female, a person like this in my life. And I would like to, you know, enjoy this person forever. And you know, of course, I'm just speaking on my behalf, but it was definitely reciprocated. And you know, him being a man, of course, you know, he pushed that forward first. But yeah, and that's what it was. So I think also it's always good to talk about it from that lens as well for women that may not be on that type of time of, you know, just want to look at like a business deal or look at it like a possessive situation. Because I know if I was like a person that was unmarried, or I was like younger, like, you know what I'm saying, in my 20s or whatever, and that was put forth to me like that, I would be like, ew, like, what the property, business deals, money, paperwork, property, like, oh, no, 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 no. What I'm about to do is get this bag on my own, and I'm finna be the rich, sexy auntie, you know what I'm saying? Like, with no kids, like, out here in this piece. Like, I'll forget a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, ew, I just think that putting it together that way is kind of like, you know what I'm saying? But I do feel like I said, that marriage can be something different, and it is something different for the people that are looking for something different. So all I can say is, for me, it was never like that. Of course, I do have legal paperwork, of course, you know what I'm saying, because we did that. But I honestly, I can't say that we just wanted to be officially married in the eyes of the world to make a statement to everybody that we were together. I never thought about it, and I know he never thought about it as, okay, well, you know what, Heifer, you belong to me now. You belong to me. Eat that cake, anime. Like, I never ever thought that. Like, that's not what we were having, what was going on. Like I said, it was just a situation of like, we were vibing, like, you know what I'm saying? I remember the first time, you know what I'm saying, I went over his house. He had anime on, you know what I'm saying? This was throwback to when Netflix was just like in his baby stages. And he had this like anime on, and I was like, You know what I'm saying? I was shocked. He had like the little, I was like, oh, okay. Like this is a different type of guy. He like a little nerd and whatnot. And I was just really attracted to him and his spirit and stuff like that. And like we just instantly connected. Like I think I went on, okay, so we went to the restaurant, we went on our first date. I didn't see him the next day. And then the next day after that, I saw him, and then I never didn't see him again. After that, we were just completely locked in, and we got married very quickly. Because that's just what it was. It was like, you know what I'm saying? A soulmate type of situation. If people believe in that type of thing, if you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. But I do think that it's good also to show different sides of marriage in that way. Because it wasn't about like any type of money he had. It wasn't about, no, of course I thought he was fine, but it wasn't about that though. It was about like who he was as a person. I genuinely had never met an individual like him in my life. Like really, I was shocked by it and floored actually. And so we just decided to link up in that way. But anyway, like I said, I just feel like I said moving forward, I was going to try to say more positive things about marriage and relationships because it just seems like so many women cannot conceptualize that anybody's actually with somebody and they enjoy spending their time with that person. Like I said, I've been married for 16 years. Like once the 2026 hit, it'd be going to 17. And then, from 17, 20's right around the corner. And we feel the same way about each other that we did when we first met. So I feel like that's something that people have to know that exists as well. Beyond the other stuff, beyond the property, beyond the, oh, I'm with him for money. Oh, I don't really care about him. Oh, it's just about money. It's just about this, that, and the third. I think that there are people genuinely that have fallen in love with each other for the souls that they are. And that's why they're there. I forget what marriage was, but what marriage is to those people, which I can say what marriage is to me, is a bond of love. You know what I'm saying? And it was always love from the very beginning, even before we recognized that within each other, that is exactly what it was love. It was at first, it was like, whoa, who is this? Who is that? Oh, wow. Like we really connected here. We really got a lot in common. Like, this is really great. Like, whoa, you like seeing me? Yeah, I like seeing you. Yeah, you want to see me every day? Yes, I want to see you every day. Okay, well then let's get this crickety cracking. But anyway, I think Gabrielle has something to say, and then I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all, because I probably have overshared here. Y'all want to hear all that. Go ahead, Gabrielle.
Yeah, no, I don't think you overshared it all. I actually thought what you said was actually really amazing. I just think when it comes to marriage, I do agree that like traditionally it has been what T Scorpio said about like the women being the man's property, but at the same time, I feel like in this day and age, marriage it can be something different. I've heard a lot of people say like when you get married, oh, it's like two people becoming one, and I don't agree with that. I think both people in a marriage can be equal partners and can maintain their own identities and then come together based on, love, mutual respect, shared values, shared outlook on life. I can't get on board with the possession thing because even the word possession, that implies ownership. It's like a possession is like an object that you own. Like my laptop is a possession, but I don't think another human being should ever be looked at as another person's possession. I think you can still get married, you can still do all the legal paperwork, and that's fine. But I think you can still have a dynamic where it is, a partnership, like, I don't know, like co-stars or like co-creators or whatever you want to call it, but where both people are on equal footing. Because even possession, that's very hierarchical. It's like a possession. It's like, so if a marriage is based on possession, then it's like one person is the owner and the other person is the possessed. I mean, I like, everyone is entitled to their own marriage, and that's fine. I understand that every marriage is different. They're going to be different dynamics in marriage. I'm just saying, for me, I don't think that every marriage has to be based on possession. I think it can be, healthier, and it can have the emotional components while still having the legal paperwork. But that is, just my opinion on it.
All right, I got you, Gabrielle. I just wanted to say, thanks to the ladies on the panel. I want to say thanks to PG 1908 for coming through. because she came through with the FBA talk, which I loved. And she was talking a lot about Cynthia Erivo, and she brought a lot of greatness to the conversation. And I know PG 1908, a lot of times she's in the comments, but she comes up every now and again and spits that hot fire. So I just wanted to say big shout out to PG 1908 for coming up. And I really appreciate you, sis. Thanks so much for Unwritten coming up. I really appreciate you a lot for sharing your perspective as well. I also wanted to thank Zora. I don't know if she's still in here. She might not be, but appreciate Zora so much for coming up as well. It's always a key with her, for real. Thanks so much, Super Villain. You know, I appreciate you coming up. I also appreciate you coming up earlier too. It's always good to hear from you and hear your thoughts and perspectives as well. Thanks so much, T Scorpio. You know, I always love to hear T Scorpio talk and give her perspectives and thoughts on things all the time. And you already know when we talk about the girls, I'll just use that code word. You already know I can count on T Scorpio to come in and regulate, okay? Regulate like Warren G, okay? For real. Okay, yes, and I also appreciate you, Gabrielle. You know, it's always love when you come up and stuff like that. I appreciate your thoughts and perspectives and stuff like that. And you know, I always appreciate just your support coming in live and joining up and speaking and all of that. I appreciate that so much. And also thanks to Queen of Hacks for coming up as well, sis. I really feel like a couple people dropped, bro, and I don't even recall. I really think, dang, I don't even remember. I know some other people came up here, and if I forgot, I'm so sorry. Because it's like the people that kind of come up a lot stay in my mind, and then like I look at the people and the things, so sometimes I just forget like who came up. But anyway, I appreciate everybody. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for coming up and stuff like that. And hopefully, oh, and shoot, Coach T, I appreciate Coach T too in the comments for telling everybody to like the live and stuff like that. If she's still here too, like I appreciate Coach T as well. She's a great mod and always trying to help me out and stuff like that and get the trolls out of the chat. So yeah, and matter of fact, I think I do know who came up here. Kalandra, I think, also came up here too. She came up here on her backup page, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to go ahead and end it out the live. I appreciate y'all. Hope you have a great weekend. I love y'all. If you're a Black woman and you're listening to this, know that you're amazing. Know that I'm proud of you. Know that I am happy for you, no matter what you got going on. And I just want y'all to know that I am completely respectful of anybody, however they choose to live. Like, what? Because I just want to make sure that people understand that I'm not trying to tell nobody they got to get married. I'm not trying to tell nobody they got to be with a man or a Black man or nothing like that. I respect every Black woman, no matter what she chooses to do. Because at the end of the day, the only thing I ever want for Black women is to be happy. If you happy, then I'm happy. I don't care how, and as long as you're not hurting nobody, okay? I don't want you to be no secret serial unaliver or nothing like that. So as long as you're not hurting nobody else and you're happy, then I'm happy too. That's the only thing that I ever wanted to start this platform for, is just for Black women to be authentically happy and authentically themselves and live life how they want on their own terms and not care what nobody else thinks about them. That's all I want to say. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all later. All right, bye-bye.